Here we go.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Mr. Connor. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
This is Ali's Life in Progress. That's the name of the channel.
I'm aware.
I would like to start the podcast by saying a sincere thank you for the water bottle.
Yeah, it's water.
So before this, Connor bought me a water bottle, which is very nice.
But he already had a water bottle.
But this one's cold. This one's cold.
So that is better. Yeah.
And like usual, I did not remind him that you're not allowed food or drinks down here. So we do have like a little. He's come prepared.
The undrunk Red Bull that I'm not allowed to drink in here. This was pointless.
Indeed.
Thank you, Ali. I really appreciated that.
No problem. You know, I'm always here for that. You know.
I slept like crap last night.
Yeah, and apologies if it sounds like I'm trying to do an RFK Jr. impression. That's just my sore throat. Not to get too political here.
What do you think about raw milk?
Sorry.
What do you think about raw milk?
What? Oh my. All right. So yeah, Connor here is one of my close friends from school. And what I really like about him is he's always down for a bit of goofiness and switches well to like serious topics and is really passionate. I think that's like one of the specific aspects of Connor. You can't take this seriously.
It's like a little embarrassed.
Well, like one of the aspects of Connor that I really enjoyed that I think is specific to him is like the way that he shows passion about topics that he truly cares about. I think it's like unmatched by like pretty much anyone else that I know, and I value that.
Thank you.
But yeah, welcome to the podcast. And
Thank you.
Boom.
Boom.
Intro rolls.
Rolls.
And we're back.
Dude, I can't take this. I'm here. Yeah.
This is a very serious podcast. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You know, people for about 3 decades have built up the entire internet and computers and microphones, and they've optimized these things for us two people to see here. And I'm taking it very seriously. Thank you.
Yeah. With the dented microphone.
That's the war-torn microphone. I prefer.
Be on the ground in like.
It's had a tough time. Don't say that about little Johnny here. You know.
Johnny. Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, our first segment. So a segment that I've made quite consistent throughout my episodes, apart from the Anton episode, because I just didn't come up with the idea since then, is the quick fire questions episode. So the point of this like segment is that like I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions. Just give like your shortened answer. You can take a little bit of time to think if you want.
Okay.
It's mainly just to like open up like the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
All right. The first question. You're stuck on an island and there's 3 items to take. What items do you take?
Am I allowed to ask any questions?
You can, yeah.
What kind of island?
Epstein.
Handgun. No. Probably like my Leatherman.
A warrant.
Warrant. Yeah, warrant. SEAL Team 6. Let's say like abandoned island. I'm assuming like the
Abandoned,
standard
yeah,
like
yeah,
desert
standard,
island.
yeah.
Like probably like my Leatherman.
A Leatherman.
Yeah, like I carry it on me at all times.
Oh my god.
Like it's like a multi-tool.
Oh.
Yeah. So like,
Wow.
so like I could probably get things with that. 3 things.
I'm gonna
I would
walk a
assume
bit
like
carefully from now on.
I would assume it's like I'm not surviving. Like so a book, like probably a book, yeah, and
I'll tell you what I was about to say just then.
Like a
Because
ration
I don't
pack,
think I
yeah.
can even say this on a microphone platform. But I'll tell you something
there's a
that I
mute
just...
button.
That's a good shout. We're back, guys. Welcome back.
You gotta censor like your mouth. Like you gotta put the black bar.
I can't let that getting out, you know? There's too many. You know, James's mum is going to be watching the podcast. I can't let that.
You can't. You gotta.
I'm going to be very, very.
Do you know how to blur filter? Do you know how to do
I
that?
know how to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all it is a black bar. It'll do the job,
Yeah.
mate.
I'm gonna say like just like.
Do you agree with my answer?
I agree with your answer, but I'm not going to put it in mine.
Please don't re-announce it. I was actually just saying water bottle. I think thank you,
a
Connor,
cold
again.
water bottle.
A cold water bottle from the State Library Cafe. I think that's
I didn't even
what
get
we
it from
need.
the State Library Cafe.
Where'd you get it
The
from?
convenience store across.
We're really supporting our local communities.
Local
in
community.
CBD.
Come on, we're still on question one. Leatherman, like my Switch, like so I can like Nintendo soy Reddit on the Switch, play my wife's boyfriend, and like a ration pack, like an MRE or something to last me like a couple days, and then
Right.
I'd assume I'd die. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
What is the best food?
Korean barbecue.
What is the best drink?
Oh, I'm gonna go with like a banana smoothie. I like a banana
I rate
smoothie.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite piece of clothing you own?
Oh, I say it's my super dry green jacket.
Okay.
My super dry cargo green jacket.
I do have to say jackets and jumpers generally got some good styles out there. You know.
I think that's like men's shoes, honestly. My like girlfriend is constantly like,
Yeah.
Velvet's always like, "You've got enough jackets. You got enough jackets." It's
Yeah,
like, Shut
yeah.
up! I need more.
It's just I don't know. They just always have the best designs on them.
Yeah, it's like, what do you get with like jeans? Like really?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Favorite class in school?
English advanced with Mr. Hurst.
Good.
No.
Good.
It's either that or it was. I think I'd have to say it was that either that or my business legal. Mostly because I consider them the same class because I had the same teacher and it was in the same classroom and it was literally back to back.
Okay.
We didn't even leave the classroom. So yeah.
What is the most annoying part? What was the most annoying part of school? I said is by accident.
What was the most
You
part of
see, you
school?
tripped on it with it too. Don't laugh at me.
Christian studies or like chapel or sport. Actually, no, I kind of liked sport. Like I hated it, and I liked it. So I'm gonna say chapel and Christian studies. I'm not particularly Christian. See if they had Quran class. I would go.
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Okay, what was the best part of school?
Oh, I mean that's easy. It was like being with my friends. That's like the one thing they always say is that you miss school, right? But I don't miss a lot of school. Like I don't miss class and a lot of the things I had to learn, but I do miss the constant time around my friends. You know, I hate having to make time to see them now. Like, so that came out really wrong. Like I don't want to go see them. It's like I'm a busy person. Like it's
Just eliminated an entire segment in that sentence. That's
Did
great.
I? Sorry. But it's like it's the thing, right? It's like, I always had mandated recess and lunch, right, to hang out with my boys. I had you in my English class, right? We mucked around in that. I had James and Ryan and stuff in that class as well. I had James in business legal, you know.
Big shout out to James.
Big shout out to James Goulas. He's a very close friend of mine. Big fan of him. I loved the episode. I loved the episode. I enjoyed
People
that.
hear that. What's been the worst part of uni?
It's hard to pick one. The administrations, I think, are all very awful. I'd have to say that's probably a good one.
What's been the best part of uni?
That's a hard question to answer. I've recently made some friends at uni, but that's been a nice thing. But it's been after 5 years of uni now. I've finally made friends.
I think we often forget how that like first part of like being in a new environment is sort of like. I think it's just tough.
Yeah, but we also like I hate to be like, oh, the like, this generation doesn't get it, but it's like we started uni right as COVID was still in the thing, right?
Mm.
So at least I don't know for you, but my first semester, I think even the first year was all online learning.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you
for
didn't
my
meet
first
anyone
year
there.
of uni, I didn't even go to uni.
Yeah.
And then like Macquarie was a different environment. Like Macquarie is that like art student, dyed hair, everyone has social anxiety, no one talks to each other, uni. But also I was working nights, so I was very, very grumpy all the time. I would just go to class and then drive home.
Fair enough. What is your favorite piece, like your favorite, not piece, favorite type of media? So this can be like videos or movies or podcasts or books or music.
That's an easy question. I think you asked that one to James, and I was thinking about my answer.
Yeah.
Video games. I think
Oh, I like that answer.
video games can tell some amazing stories, and I think that will refer to a future segment. I think, if anything, to go by.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
What's your favorite landscape?
snow. I loved Sapporo.
Amazing. That's all the questions I have.
We blitzed through those.
Yeah, I mean,
Do we get back on? We go back to you, right? You give your answers, right?
okay, yeah. We can do that. Stuck on an island, 3 items to take.
Well, actually, you gave one, so it's two.
Yes, I gave one, my water bottle from the convenience store down the road. Then my other 2 items. A mic and a laptop.
Oh no! Does it have an internet connection?
You could use OBS. The point isn't to upload it. The point is to marinate in it. uh, best food. Ooh, best food. I really like udon. I love udon.
Really?
I've recently really loved udon.
Really? Have you had ramen?
I've had ramen.
You like udon, huh?
But I love udon.
I've had some nice udon, but I always prefer ramen.
Yeah.
I had udon in Japan, like for the first time. Like
might be a post podcast moment, you know.
Most post podcast moment.
Might be.
I had it, and I always just felt like this is just ramen, but like weaker. Like it's got like a weaker taste to it. So but I guess I prefer just really.
I like the
flavors.
thickness of the noodle itself.
That is true.
Like
that is true.
There's something about it that just it feels more filling and it feels better to eat as well.
Yeah. Have you had tteokbokki?
I don't think so.
I think you'd like tteokbokki.
Okay.
You'd love tteokbokki. If you like the thickness of the noodle, you'll really like tteokbokki.
Okay. Might give it a go. Best drink. Oh, there's a Pakistani mango juice that they make.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's called Mazza juice. Mazza means fun. It's like a fun juice.
Do they have alcohol in it?
No. But it's like mango nectar essentially, but
Yeah.
like a little bit lighter than what mango nectar is. In the summer, having a cooled mango like juice, there's nothing like it, mate. Favorite piece of clothing I own. I clearly haven't thought of these for myself. Whenever I come up with these, I'm always like, oh, what can I ask Connor? What can I ask? Like, yeah. Favorite piece of clothing that I own.
That shirt's looking pretty dapper.
This shirt. Oh, the shirt. Just
the white shirt.
The white shirt.
You're looking pretty dapper.
Thank you. You yourself, I do like I've always loved the necklace.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I swear I didn't copy.
We do look a very bit similar today.
We kind of do. Ooh, my favorite piece of clothing. I think currently I bought a jumper, which is merch from one of the podcasts that I listen to. I'm really loving that jumper. I'll show you it
What
after.
podcast is it?
It's from like Tommy Innit and Jack Manifold's podcast. It's the jumper itself. The design is actually really good. Like the back of it's really nice. It's got like a big brain in the back,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like it has like things like going out. It's like a really cool design. I like what they did with it. Favorite class in school? Genuinely, probably the English class, just because I would have said like some of my maths classes, but I feel like I enjoyed maths as a subject rather than the class itself. I think there's like a difference in between like enjoying like a subject and then enjoying like a class. There was also one history class that I had that I really, really enjoyed. It was me sitting next to Marco Moradia, next to Alessia Raza, next to Stephen Contreras.
Dude,
Amazing table.
that's
Sorry
like
to dox everyone,
that's
but
like
like
my nightmare blunt
it was
rotation.
so funny. All of us sitting there and in a history class. Out of every type of class they have, it was in a history class.
I mean, I had like, I really liked all of my classes in year 11 and year 12.
Yeah.
Except for original English class for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
we can't talk about that, I don't think.
Oh my.
But like my history class was all right too. I mean, I had George Calimera
Oh yeah.
in history with Julius Russell as well.
That's good.
Uh, I'll never forget. Can I go off on a little bit of a tangent?
All of this is like little. It's all. I'll blur this out too. It's all foreplay to the fun, you know. Like
Okay.
it's just like
So I
these
should
are just
wait?
notes.
I should
No,
wait.
these are just notes.
Oh.
And if you can go on tangents on any of these points,
Yeah.
go on tangent. That's a point of the podcast. You go on
Well,
tangents.
I'm gonna. I think everyone who's watched this probably knows the story, but anyway, like I will say, like you know how we do the practice essays in history before like the HSC.
Yeah.
You know, we were obviously studying all year, and then we get to our practice exams, and we had Mr. Sandwell, if you know who he is.
Sounds familiar.
I think he was like some administrative.
Oh, he's an
head,
admin
like,
guy.
No, I think
Okay.
he was like second to Yared or something. Like,
Oh.
yeah. Anyway, George Calimera, love you, George. I love you so much. Did his practice essay on a completely different topic than the ones we studied the whole year. It's like, 'cause you know how they give you all the
Yeah.
questions for every school. He just picked another school's question, like, and just did a different topic. Like, I think we were studying like Japan,
so much respect, to
Meiji
be
Restoration. I think he went and did like World War II.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's like Sandwell was like, so one of you decided to do something completely different.
I think like in was this in HSC?
Yeah,
In modern?
yeah.
I think our teacher also said one person in the grade just chose a different topic, and
Yeah,
I
that was
just never
George.
knew.
That was George.
That's amazing. You know,
I think
more
he
power to
failed
him.
too. Like,
Look, but you know, you don't know until you give
try,
it a shot.
yeah.
Like
Good point,
that's
yeah.
respect him. You know, he's trying something new.
You know,
You know, he knew all of his history in one subject. He wanted to challenge himself in the exam, and more power to him.
he was like the penguin wandering away from the pack.
There's been a lot of those memes on like Insta recently. It's been like all over it. Like, it's just resurfaced.
DHS, Department of Homeland Security, posted like a propaganda video about
Did
like, the
they?
penguin. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. Not to get too political quickly,
It's-
too quickly.
You're more than welcome to go on any tangent. Um, most annoying part of school. I would have to say like the resource allocation difference in between the IB and the HSC. I think was the most annoying part of school.
Really?
I thought
Can you
it
expand
was.
on that? I never really saw the IB side of it, so
Well, I didn't do IB.
I know.
But,
you were
like,
you were close with a lot of people who did. Like I
It
only
was
knew,
just
James.
like it felt like there was two different schools. Like that's what I understood. It felt like the IB style of learning. I think the IB style of learning is an interesting and cool style of learning. I just think that the way that the school sort of disregarded HSC students and just sort of like pushed all the top students into an IB program and then allocated majority of like their teaching resources and stuff to the IB from what it sounded. I didn't like that at all. Like just because I didn't want to do a language in my like last few years of school, like I get
Exactly right. Yeah.
like and like I remember one. I don't know if I've said this in the previous episode or not, but one time I was sitting in. I think maybe you were there, but we were sitting in the library and Mr. Barnes came to us. I don't know if you were there as well, but he went on a rant on why, and it was either before school or it was on a study break, and we were playing Among Us on our phones because it was free period, like,
Yeah.
or it was before school, but
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
it's fine to. And he came up to us, he looked up what we were doing, and went on like a 10-minute rant of this is precisely why IB is better than the HSC, and like, it just put such a strong distaste to like the school in general. if this is the sort of vibe that you're giving. It's like, you don't know anything about my background. You don't know how much I study. You don't know how much I do. You don't know when I get home how much like work I do. If this is my break time during the day, you don't know anything about me, and you walk up to me and pretend like
Yeah,
it's just
Barnes was
stupid.
just Barnes was just full of himself. Like,
But I
Barnes was
felt
just an
like there was a
awful
lot of
person.
that vibe in
Yeah.
school. Even with students, like IB students would always pretend like they're superior, even though there
They
really
were.
is like
They did
not
think
much of a difference. We're all students, and at the end of the day, we all like most of us like attended similar degrees across universities. There's not much difference.
exactly, but
There's my rant about the most annoying part of school. But yeah,
there was a lot of annoying parts about school. I could have said like the house stuff was all really annoying.
yeah, I was
I got
lucky
to go
that
to house meeting.
I do think that like I felt really sad that like my house just didn't have my close friends in there. I wish even if I had one close friend, it would have been just so much more fun.
I thought I had close friends in my house.
I just never connected with anyone.
I had
Like I was
I had
okay
like
with them.
I
They're
had
good
like Evan
people.
Williams and like Callum Ferguson actually. Callum I still talk to. Evan like I haven't spoken to since we graduated.
Yeah, yeah.
But like we used to hang all the time. You know, that was a house meeting, baby.
Yeah, yeah. The best part of school is definitely the people that I met through school.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the most common answer you'll get, but it's common for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I think like just like I think there's like in school, oftentimes we think that there's uh like the point of school is to learn from like subjects and stuff. But I think there's like so much learning to do from other people that you meet that are at both at a higher level to you, like teachers and stuff, and then people at the same level to you, and see like how different people approach different things. Like even like lunchtimes, like what shenanigans you can come up with within 20 minutes. That's a talent, you know.
Pegging a milk bottle at a bin. That was our talent.
Yeah, I mean like it's just like the creativity of like those sort of social outings, and then also like having that specific time in the day allocated for that is like a genuine blessing that like you don't you don't realize it as you do realize it, but you don't realize it as much as what you feel now. But yeah. Um, the worst part of uni. Ooh, the worst part of uni and the best part of uni to me are sort of the same thing. It's how relaxed everything is.
That's a
I
good
think
answer. Yeah.
I think it's the best part because you're able to have the freedom to do what you want, but it's the worst part because I think none of us are prepared for that environment. We're used to in school where you would have to force your free time rather than actually get it
Yeah.
in school. But then in uni, when it's like free time can be literally any time, like even in your class time, it can be your free time. It's like kind of burdening to have so much responsibility over like your behavior, pretty much. But yeah. Favorite type of media? I've already answered this question. It still remains the same for now. It might evolve over time, but books. I think
Yeah.
recently it's been books. It used to be movies. Favorite landscape? Ooh, favorite landscape. Um, I like a mountainous landscape, but not looking towards the mountain. Being on the mountain, looking away. You know.
Oh, you like the up top, the
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Just
Would you ever go
it
mountaineering?
not really. I've been a few times to like in Pakistan. We went like we've been driving like across like areas in Pakistan. You go up mountains to go. The roads just built like that. They just didn't build roads around it. They just built roads on it. Um, and I think just there's something really therapeutic about being really high up. It feels like you're away from your lower ground self for some reason. It like distances yourself, and then you get to
You
like
get a perspective of
get to
everything,
think.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, yeah, that's all the quick fire questions.
Big fan
But
of
yeah,
that. Big fan of that segment.
yeah. It goes pretty well. I think adding questions in there that are like super long answers, but putting it in a quick fire segment definitely is a lot of fun to be like, okay, how do I like truncate my answer? You know, I don't know if truncate's the right. Maybe it's
I don't know if I like all my answers, but I think I did pretty well.
okay. It's not a test. It's um.
Please give me the job.
Okay. We'll see. The next segment is, and I came up with this segment an hour ago. It is the deeper question segment.
Oh.
So I decided for this podcast, I'm gonna lean into like the like question sort of side, like the interviewee sort of question side, because I thought it'd be pretty interesting. So this is the deeper question segment where it's like a lot more like you get a lot more time to think, a lot more time to answer. You like can go wherever you want with it. You can tangent whichever topic you feel like that stems from this. But yeah, I'll answer straight after your answer, and we'll just go back and forth from
Okay.
there. So the first question is, what is or firstly, do you have a guiding philosophy?
Oh. God, that is deep. Um, I think I'd say there's like multiple. I think like you pointed out my necklace where I'd have like this too shall pass on my necklace. Um, which is like a reminder that like everything will fade,
Mm.
kind of. So bad times will end, but the good times will end as well. So take advantage of everything. But I don't know if I always follow that. I think I do chase the good times, and I find that the bad times still really affect me.
Mm-hmm.
I say one of my a bit funny. I'd say one of my major philosophies that I kind of go by is I live through vitriol,
Vitriol. I've never heard the word.
like like a deep resentment.
A deep resentment.
Like
You know what Anton says? Spite is the best motivator. That's what Anton says. Big shout out.
I very much agree with Anton there. Spite is a really big motivator, and I think that there's a lot wrong with the world that really angers me, and it would be like letting it win to stop. And so I keep going to try and do something about it, and that's why I'm taking the path I take and the future I want.
Interesting.
Is to try and right some wrongs.
Huh. Interesting. Do you feel like I feel this with my neck? I don't know if I've talked about my necklace in the podcast. Do you know what I'm wearing? No, you've never seen it. So this is like a little religious thing that I wear, and there's a backstory to this because I'm not sure how much I like delve into it or not, but there was a period of time in my life where I was like quite religious, I would say, and then came a period of time where like I dissociated it from it completely. And then during the time that I was religious is sort of like when I bought this, and I used to wear it for that reason. Then there was like a period of time where I removed the pendant of this because I wasn't religious. But I still wanted to hold on to the necklace for like the metaphorical meaning of like there's still something that ties me together. It's just not this. Um and then later on I put it back on as a reminder of like where I came from. And I think what happens with necklaces and what I find is there's something truly beautiful about like walking around and having something that you can subconsciously feel on your body all the time that sort of reminds you of something, right? To me, it's like yourself. It's sort of like everything that I go through. Some points in the day, I sort of pause and I'm like, I feel it, and then I'm like, okay, I like that. I've had all of this history on my neck. Like, how am I going to like go through my life from here forward?
You say it's like grounding you?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. But it also at the same time sometimes provides me a lot more options with things that I can do. It's sort of like at the same time it sort of makes you pause and sort of think about like, okay, I have so much history to work with at the same time, and it's like how can I apply things to bring up more options to like, uh, what I can do within each scenario that I'm in. But yeah, that's my connection to my necklace. How does that fit with your sort of like necklace as well?
I think I got this when I was going through a rough period. I remember I think I got it around just after 2021. So I just started night shift and I just started Macquarie and I was quite alone.
Okay.
Because lockdown was happening, obviously, so I couldn't go out to see anyone. I didn't get the marks that I wanted in the HSC.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, I kind of gave up as well. But I was ending up at Macquarie, and Nicola was at Macquarie, but then he transferred out to UCID, so I was the only one there. And they're on opposite sides of the city. So
yeah, exactly.
it was not like I was making any surprise trips to UCID anytime soon, where all of my friends are. So I was alone. I was studying, but I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. I was, trying to balance, basically full-time work with uni, which I'm still doing.
Yeah.
If anything, it's worse now. But like I was just in a bad spot. But I remember my mum got me the original necklace, because I was like, I just wanted a dog tag because I thought it'd be cool.
Oh, okay.
But then I was like, I was reading or studying something. I just came across it online. I was like, that is a very impactful quote that I've heard that actually like sat with me for multiple days. I was like, and I sort of utter it to myself sometimes when I'm like walking to class. It's like, this too shall pass. Get through this. Holidays are coming. I can go hang out with some people. I can go see my friends again.
Yeah.
And I think after a while, it's like, I could get it engraved on my necklace. So I did.
Yeah. That's so sweet. I like that. I like that a lot. To take a break in between the deep questions, I thought to ask something that's not as deep. What technology do you think we have but is not available to the public? Like, what do you think, like, the CIA or, like, things, like, what types of technology have you, like, heard of, or do you think that, like, is, like...
That we don't have access to?
That we don't have access to, but we figured it out.
Well, we found out about one. We found out about one yesterday. The discombobulator, apparently.
I didn't hear about this. What is the discombobulator?
Trump just said they used a secret ray gun weapon on Venezuela called the discombobulator. I'm not lying.
Do you know what it does? It's just a ray
I don't
gun?
know. I don't know. I am not joking. But to think of something else. What else? What do I think we have? I think. My little conspiracy theory is I think we have cloning technology.
I was thinking, when I was writing this question, that was actually one of the technologies I was thinking
I think
about.
that science is a lot further in some things than they actually admit. I don't think we have the ability to fully clone humans. I'm not saying we have something to fully clone you right now. Right.
Oh, that would be hell.
That would be hell. But I don't think they have
that
with
me.
with you. But I don't think we have that. But I think we could probably reproduce
we could reproduce.
We could. I feel like they can clone. I feel like they can clone animals right now.
I don't know that flew over your head.
No, I heard it. I was just trying to avoid addressing it.
I always come back to this little story that I said in Liam's episode about my father asking, when he heard me make this podcast, he asked if there's anything adult or illegal that happens in the podcast.
I remember you mentioning this.
And for some reason, ever since, there's always been something adult that comes up in the podcast. And it's always just extremely entertaining that he seemed to have magically predicted every podcast then on.
I think you underestimate how much your father knows you.
Oh, yeah. More power to him. I think we've gone to the moon again. No one knows. We've been there. They're lying to us. They're lying.
Aren't they sending up a team to the moon
Yeah, but that's
but you think they've been there. You think they've been there multiple times since. What do you think they're doing?
They're looking. You can see the Great Wall of China from there. They got a man up there with a telescope and binoculars.
Do you think he's just monitoring the Great Wall of China?
No, that's you see, it's all about realness and fakeness of information, right? So they put forward that you can see the Great Wall of China, right? It's oh wow, this is the size. They can see you on the street from up there, They got one guy up there.
I think these websites that you're getting this rhetoric from are hurting you.
I didn't get this from any website. This is me improvising on the spot. I don't know where I got this idea from, but...
I think Google Earth isn't actually a satellite. I think it's a guy on the moon.
It's a guy on the moon. And then, when you, spin the Earth, he, spins it with his arm.
No, he just spins the telescope. He turns it
Oh, it spins
around.
a telescope. Oh. Oh, Big Google. You know what Big Google does? They got magnets around the Earth.
Big Google.
Yeah, Big Google. They got the magnets. And then that's how you like see around the Earth.
I think I'm dying.
So yeah, we're still in the deeper questions.
Are we? Are we in the trenches?
Yeah, so I think this is a great time when you're completely caught off guard to get back to a deep question.
This is mean.
What in life makes you complete, Connor?
Oh, you know what? That's not even like a very deep question.
It's like it's moderate.
It's like moderately deep. I'm a pretty simple guy. Like, I feel complete with my girlfriend. I feel.
She will come up later in the episode.
Oh, great. And here she is into the room.
I actually wish I did that now. Oh, that would be so good. I'm just waiting, and then like I tap like a button, and then she comes in.
No, I'm a very simple guy. You know what made me complete like a really like nice night? Having my girlfriend with me cooking for like a glass of like my favorite whiskey and like a cigarette. Like that would make me complete. That's like the ideal life for me.
I really like that. That's very wholesome. Thanks for that.
No.
I realized I didn't answer any of the questions myself after you answered them.
No. You answered
the
the
guiding philosophy. I
No, you
answered the
answered the-
Eustace one. I answered the technology one.
No. You answered the guiding philosophy
Did
one.
I?
The necklace.
Oh,
yeah.
I did.
And then you went over the man on the moon.
Never
and the
mind.
telescope.
Never mind, chat.
So what makes
We're
you
good.
complete?
What makes me complete? It's been mentioned before plenty of times. As
Your friends.
It's pretty much my friends and the connections that I have. I think like there's two parts of it, right? There's the active like going out and meeting someone and hanging out with them. That's nice, and like getting up to whatever we get up to, and then there's the passive like when you're going about your day, and you're like, this person just exists in the same life as mine, just passively. You're just like walking to uni or you're driving to uni, and you're like, hey, like there's Connor around, there's Ryan around, there's James around. They're just people that exist in the same world as mine. And that's nice. I think that's what guides me around.
You make my answer sound like complete I sound so selfish now because what makes you complete? My friends, the connections I made in me. It's like I want food, like drink, and like nicotine, and my girlfriend. I guess I got one person in there. I do find completeness with my friends as well. I'd love to cook for everyone. You know what? That'd be a nice thing to do. I should probably organize that. We'll go away on like.
We should do that. You know what we should do? We should do a rotation that each person organize it like a cooking thing.
That, or I
And
was
they
gonna
prepare-
suggest we should go like away for like a week, like a schoolies.
Yeah, combine the ideas.
Combine the ideas and
Every day is like assigned to a person,
Yeah,
and then they like organizing the food for that day.
yeah, that'd be awesome. We should. Do
That's
that.
cool.
We should like get an Airbnb for like a week.
We should do that. This will happen.
Yeah,
This will happen.
I'd love to cook for everyone.
Yeah, and we have really passionate people in our group that would love to do that too. Or the Anton Day, I think we'll die.
I'm gonna feed Anton beef bowl and just gonna like it.
Anton's gonna feed us fucking tomato sauce and bread.
God, I'm gonna be sick. If I have to eat tomato sauce, bread, and milk, I'm gonna be sick.
And crackers, milk and crackers,
And cheese. Sorry.
and cheese. Oh, actually, it's not milk and crackers. It's cheese and crackers. Wrong one.
No, he likes his A2 milk. It has to be A2 milk. Remember?
Oh, we don't drink
Can't
any
do
more
dairy
water.
farmers.
There's one day of no water. It's just milk. All right.
All right.
What's the next question? So now you think that I'm gonna have a light question? We'll do another deep question. Do you believe in legacy?
Yeah.
And what do you want to be remembered for?
Oh, okay. That kind of goes towards my dreams.
Dreams.
My dreams. God, there's a lot I could say here, and I don't want this to be. I don't want to be put on a list.
I mean, yeah, this can all be edited. There's no problem. Like, feel free to say whatever.
I'll go with. There's like two. I'll go with okay. My dream is like, obviously I'm studying forensics and I'm going to be going to the police. I'd love to become the police commissioner.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think there's a lot of things wrong with the New South Wales police and how procedures are done that I disagree with.
Okay.
And I would like to change them. However, I don't believe the entity as a whole is corrupt. I have some, I like a lot of cops. I've met a lot of cops that are nice people, or ex-cops in my department that I talk to that all seem to be were in the force for the right reasons. But there's also a lot of people that are not in there for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like one big policy I really dislike is quotas. I don't think quotas.
What do you mean quotas? Like quotas, like how many people you have to like.
There's like you have to search like 10 people this week, and it's
Mm.
like, well, hang on, where's innocent until proven guilty? Like,
Yeah.
why are you like? It becomes a game of like, oh, this kid looked at me funny or like bumped into me like while I was walking down, King Street in Newtown, so I'm gonna push him against a wall and search him, which is a power that the cops currently have with the rise in knife crime. They can now just search people with no warrant. Sorry.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like what? Like, okay, let's say, for the sake of argument, you've got like a 18-year-old kid hanging out with his mates at his share house in Newtown, right? They're gonna go to their mate's apartment, play like, Nintendo while getting high,
Yeah.
while marijuana is illegal. Let's say like he bumps into a cop and the cop's having a bad day and decides, hey, buddy, I'm searching you. You look young enough. You might have a knife on you. And then he finds a joint on him. And it's like suddenly that kid's life's ruined. Book him for drug use, goes on his record. Now he's got trouble finding employment. Maybe there's consequences for his education as well. And that's wrong. Like, obviously I'd push for legalization of marijuana. I don't think it's the worst drug in the world. I would stop quotas and stuff. Like, I feel like there should be more community policing. Like, it should be more fostering of a community, of a space where people should be. And so that's the legacy I want to leave. Like, as a police commissioner, as someone who, like, was more for the people rather than for the powerful.
Yeah.
Right?
I think currently we, like, have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
But, like, I think I was out yesterday with my family, and we had dinner at the Crown. Which all stories go well from there,
And I won 500 on black. Let it ride.
But what happened is that what I noticed from the experience was that we drove into the city because we're like, we're going to the Crown, we'll drive in, and then we try to find parking in these like parking what do you call it? Like private parking areas?
Or like private public parking or Wilson's
parking. Yeah, like the Wilsons or the secure parking. Oh,
5 minutes, just an easy $500.
Dude, we went into one of these parking. Dude, one thing that I really hate. It's $45 minimum. You like minimum thing that you'll find is $45 on like the night weekday rates, right? $45 every single hour for each car that's parked in there, and they can't afford to put a sign outside the car park. It's inside next to the buzzer. So you have to drive in to even figure out what's going on.
And then you pay $45 to get out.
And it's either that you reverse and look like an
and let's say you've got people behind you, suddenly like 5 people are backing up with you.
And then we go into this car park, we go around this car park, there's no parking in there. There's none left. So we leave. And it's like $45. I'm like, for what? For what? Honestly, for what? And then we press the help button. And like, the guy, like, the help, they're like, oh, please wait. All of our people are engaged. Oh no, who? I'm the only one in this car park. Where? Have all these people left their car, gone to this guy's main office and booked meetings with him? Like, where'd they go? Like, why? Like, why is this?
There's got to be an execution for all parking people in the city.
Literally, like, and then you go into these parkings. It's built for bicycles. It's not built for cars. Like, how do you
can't back into the space.
You can't
scratch
fit
your thing
anywhere.
On the pillar. Yep.
Like,
I don't drive into the city.
It's disgusting.
I hate.
And then the experience of going from this car park and walking into the Crown, it felt disgusting. It genuinely. I became a communist on the spot walking into the Crown. I'm not kidding. And we walked in. And I ranted to my dad and my mum that this is a sick society that we live in. That we sit in our high towers while the poor outside the window are struggling on the streets. I became so poetic and so Marx-like. It was insane. What an experience.
The next Zoran Mamdani was born.
Anyways, what makes my life complete? But yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I do agree with this idea that like there's some experiences that like I have that like I really see this like the difference in between the living conditions of things that are right next to each other. It's just you hear it all the time in like stories, movies, books, everything like that. But it doesn't hit as hard until you physically go and see it. It's like there's people that are here that like gamble away thousands and thousands of dollars, and people that are rich doing that, not people that are like getting abused by the system. People that don't have anything else to do with their money. And then there's
Yeah.
other people that like it's a spit on the face to the person that's hardworking in their office 9 to 5, barely making their mortgage. Like, yeah.
How do you think I felt working at the club?
Yeah, no, it's
I was making minimum wage. I was making like 30 grand a year, and it was like there were customers in there that would put $10,000 in every night. They come in multiple nights a week.
and it's like
They'd put away like 30,000 a week in the machines
yeah, it's
at an RSL club. It's
and
like,
then
dude, if you're gambling this kind of money, go to the Star. At least you get bennies there. Like they give you like free alcohol. Like
yeah, no, it's
it
money
was
always
disgusting.
baffles me.
It was
It's
always disgusting.
it never I never understand where money come from, like the life cycle of money. I just never understand. It just feels like it appears and disappears in the most random pockets. Like
Yeah.
it confuses me. But yeah, that's the legacy that I see and what I want to leave.
We have to
No, okay.
destroy capitalism.
Going back to the question. I actually don't even remember where my thoughts started from, but going back to the question of
crown.
if I
Is
No,
your
so, like,
legacy
I
you
don't know
want to
why I
demolish?
even
Is your
mentioned
is your legacy you want to demolish the crown?
no. I announced very loudly in the crowd that I love James Packer. He's my favorite guy in the world.
I salute.
Salute James Packer. My condolences for him not working there anymore, I think. I don't remember if he's working there or not. But I made it very clear to the people around I love James Packer. Do I believe in legacy? I don't necessarily believe in legacy of like myself as a person, but I believe in legacy of what you do. I think like there's like a like the butterfly effect sort of like vibe of like if if I can make connections with people and help people see in a different perspective, it doesn't have to have my name on it or anything like that. But if that person then goes on and interacts with someone else with a certain perspective that I helped navigate, I think that's enough. Like just like if you can sort of make a positive impact on other people's lives and not not in a way that you want your name to be ascribed to these things. Like for example, we don't know the first person that ever built a road, that ever got the construction done properly. First person that built a bridge that worked with horses. Like these people they don't have their names there. But we these are fundamental aspects of what our society is built on. It's sort of like that sort of legacy is sort of like what I'm looking for. Some sort of change that I can have that other people use without even noticing it. It's a very hard legacy to achieve, but it's something that I would like to, even in the smallest thing, be able to achieve.
That's interesting. I kind of agree and disagree with that. I think there's like I agree that there's like a honorable legacy that can be left with like your actions and changing society in a fundamental way, like building the first road and stuff. And yeah, I don't think the legacy of the first person who built a road existed, but I'm sure there are people who knew, and I'm sure that that name still exists today. I still think there's people that talk about them, and that's a legacy that I think is beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. I see that. I don't
Even
find
if like the world doesn't have to know, but as long as you left impact on some people, and there are people that still talk about you.
I think that's beautiful as well. I mean, my core focus is more on the like idea that like you can make a change in the world that people just use
That
without
just
even
use,
knowing.
yeah, just
To me, that's
fundamentally
the beautiful
change,
part.
yeah,
That's
how
like
the world works.
yeah, and it's like these people like for example like us living in Australia with like free healthcare and stuff, and we navigate through life. We complain about our governments with things that are justified, but people like I hear this a lot because like when I'm going back and forth from like Pakistan and here for holidays and stuff, you see the sort of problems that happen there, and you're like, wow, thank God we have a foundation over here to build upon. Like it's like as annoying as it is to complain about the things that we complain about when it comes to like government stuff or even general just not finding your item in the supermarket sort of stuff. It's a blessing to be able to complain about these things at the same time.
Yeah,
And these are built from people which names we don't remember, but we assume their legacy within our actions. And I think that's That's the part that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one more question for this deeper questions segment. Let's say you see your, and this is more like a hypothetical, and it doesn't really fit into this segment, but
Okay.
we'll give it a shot. Let's say you see your future self, right? Like you walk out of here, and as you open the door, uh, like I disappear for some random reason, and then someone behind you goes, "Hey, wait a second," and then you see in this room, there's an older Connor with a beard and a mustache. Was like white hair, wise man Connor sitting here, and he goes, "I don't have time to explain, but something bad is gonna happen in the future. I need you to stop it." What would you do?
I
Like,
would ask what's gonna happen
and
and
he
like try
disappears,
to.
and he disappears.
Uh,
Like, what are things that like you would like? How
what
would you
steps would
navigate?
I
Like,
take?
what steps would you take?
Um, what is this question?
I don't know.
Man?
It sort of came up, and I was like, we'll
It's
mention
an
this.
interesting question. I mean, so he warns me that something bad is gonna happen, but then disappears before he can actually tell me what happened.
Yeah.
I would probably. I think I would try to. Okay, if I want to take a literal step, I would first try and get the security camera footage
Yeah.
because I would like to just and try to remember to see if there was like a scar on his face or something. Like, was there like an injury or something? And like try and take an investigative approach and try to narrow down what might happen.
Very police.
Otherwise, I would probably just be like I would probably go bold with anxiety as I try to go through my life.
I thought you were just gonna say, "I'm just gonna go bold."
I probably
That's
go
the problem.
bold with
That's actually
anxiety,
it.
like
That's what he was warning me about.
stress.
It's like if my hairstyle's gonna look wax, so I'm gonna go bold now.
No, like I'd probably go bold with stress, like trying to go with the anxiety of like watching every corner and trying to see
What
what
would you
happens.
think? What would you say is if you were to guess what the person is talking about? What would
Like,
be like your like
well,
initial guesses?
I'd be like alive, so it would either be some like a world-ending catastrophe or like someone close to me is going to die.
World ending catastrophe. That'll come up later.
So here I've got the nuclear launch gun.
Oh man.
What about
Man,
you?
your ideas are just so much better than mine, man.
What do you choose?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough question.
Yeah, man. You answered it. My brother in Christ, you made the question.
But I make these questions without thinking answers to them. This is what happens every time. Oh, I mean, there's not much you can do, right? I guess the smartest thing to do would be like try to get some sort of footage to like replay the moment to see if like there's any like things to look out for. But apart from that, just it will just be more vigilance generally, right? Not much you can actually do. No, I'll try out the ramen. That's what I'll do.
That's a good man. That's a good man. You want to grab ramen after this? I know a good spot.
I think we should. We'll call up some people. I've got lines. I can bring people. Not lines. That was actually the wrong. That's not even. I'm not a drug dealer.
So there's adult content in this.
There's the legal content now. There's the. We're going to that part of the podcast. That was foretold.
Your dad was right again.
Represent, you know. Yeah.
Next segment.
How have you found the segment so far, mate?
I've been enjoying them, mate.
You have. We have hit apparently the 45-minute mark. It's a bit longer because I forgot to start the timer.
No, you're good.
A little bit earlier, but the next segment is something we do every podcast as well. This is the Friends segment.
I've been waiting for this one. I
love
lie.
it. This is actually
I won't lie. I'm a little excited.
The highlight of every podcast.
Yeah.
So I have 5 people here.
Only 5. Wow.
Because I organized this yesterday night. I have 5 people here that have asked questions.
Okay.
I'm sure you know how this segment runs, but the idea is that I read it out,
And then I have to guess.
you guess it, and you answer it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which order you do that, but yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm very sorry to this individual because I said I was going to practice this, but I didn't. You can tell I'm very organized. Um, so the first question is, have you heard that Trump has selective dementia?
Uh, is that it? I haven't heard that he has
Well,
selective dementia.
sources are saying that Trump has selective dementia for his yaoi harem lovers. In a recent press conference, he mistook Greenland for Iceland, saying that he was asking for a piece of ice, Iceland. So Iceland has already cost us a lot of money, obviously a sign of his dementia. But then, in a later conference, he said, they called me daddy, right the last time. Very smart man, said he's our daddy. So he remembered very clearly that Mark Rutte, the NATO Secretary General, called him daddy. Some journalists are saying that this is a sign the mind is weak, but the heart is strong. And clearly, this is evidence that Trump has the hots for Root, which is potentially motivating with his recent fixation with NATO currently.
So that was James.
So, have you heard about that?
I have heard about that now that he brings up. That was James. I know that was James. And I've got to say,
This person has sent a few questions, so I'm not going
okay.
to reveal the answer until then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go James, and then let's go to the next question.
Did you answer the question?
What the fuck is there to answer? That wasn't a question. That was a That was a news report.
Have you heard about that?
I have heard about that. He's ratting off the political yaoi stuff that I started sending him. Yeah.
Wow. This provides a lot of perspective, Connor. Okay. On to the next question by this individual that shall not be named. It has been in the recent news a lot recently, but have you heard the real reason that Trump ordered the capture of Maduro?
Oh, why? I have heard about this, yeah.
Well, some are saying that Trump's inner Yandere is coming out. He claimed that Maduro was a kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking drugs. But this is a bit paradoxical, as he previously pardoned the former Honduran President Hernandez for arguably worse offenses. So political commentators are saying that this is all a ploy for Trump to capitalize on Venezuela's oil industry, because Maduro has been oiling up with Putin and Xi Jinping. So Trump's actions are now suggested to be motivated by jealousy because he wants to be oiled up with Putin and Xi instead. But of course, the Russian and Chinese leaders were not happy with his aggressive move, presumably because oiling up should be a consensual act. Nevertheless, Trump's inner yaoi fantasies have driven him to act irrationally, and so political commentators say we are due for an imminent oil up limited time event.
That one was one of my personal favorites, yeah.
Had you heard about this?
I had heard about this, yes.
Okay. On to the next question by this individual. What has been your driving motivation for joining the police? And what do you envision your career will look like in 20 years? Is there a point at which you'll be satisfied with your achievements / position in the police force? Sort of went over this a bit, but
we did go over this a little bit. But,
embellish your answer.
What was my driving motivation to join the police force? I've always got the basics, like strong sense of justice, right? But sorry,
I forgive you.
Thanks. You know what? Actually, like initially, because I'm like going into forensics, I don't want to be a forensic scientist. You know what made me want to be a forensic scientist?
It's got to be a TV show. You're gonna say a TV show.
It was a TV show.
The Flash.
It was The Flash.
No way. Was it actually?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I watched the CW Flash show, and I watched the first season, and I was like, oh my god, he's a forensic scientist. That's so cool.
I can't believe I got that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was like when I was like 10, and then like I stopped caring, and I didn't want to do that, and then obviously I went off into psychology. But then I came back to it and was like, yeah, I still want to be a forensic scientist. That's cool.
I'm actually reading a book.
Yeah.
That's it. No, I'm reading a book. You know, The Alchemist?
I do know the Alchemist series.
Yeah, and a lot of it is about finding your personal legend. And that sort of reminded me of that, because it says in the book that like a lot of the time people like find like little legends that they want to live up to as a kid. And then through time, things become more realistic, or things get clouded, things become complicated. But I think that in the book it shows there's a stage in someone's life where they reach and they sort of like return to like their childhood dream, and they're like, this is actually the way to go. Reminded me of that.
Yeah, Barry Allen's not my legend, but yeah, I get you. I do get what you're saying.
Mm.
I guess like I'm guilty pleasure. I love Batman, so like be a cool detective like Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, you know the other thing that was like House MD
Oh yeah.
kind of pushed me towards that. My favorite all time episode was the one with the woman that was poisoning her husband with gold. That was like a full forensics episode basically
Oh yeah.
done through medicine.
That's
And
so cool.
it was so cool watching House like come into the bathroom and like grab her hands quickly and be like, you know, I'm so sorry, but your husband's gonna make a full recovery. And she's like, why are you telling me this like it's bad news? And it's like, because you're trying to kill him. And then he was like, stannous chloride turns purple when it's mixed with gold. Takes her hands off and her hands have got purple.
Yeah.
I was like, that was such a sick reveal.
There's something about the way that they do it as well. I think
Yeah.
the way that that show's made, about like the satisfaction of like finding the answer in that show, is like it's done like no other show.
House MD is an amazing show.
Yeah.
House MD is an amazing show. And I was like, that's cool. I don't have the smarts to be a doctor though, so I'm gonna be a forensic scientist. But then yeah, I want to make changes in the police force. So 20 years from now, I'd hope to see myself as the commissioner. If I'm a
Ooh.
bit young, maybe like somewhere, maybe detective, hopefully.
That would be really cool to see.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence of just going straight to forensics or whether I think I want to do duty officer as well. So I do want to be like an actual cop, not just a scientist.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll be going to the academy at some point.
That'll be really cool to hear about as the years go on.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this podcast is we can come back in 20 years.
20 years from now, we'll book it. Yeah.
20 years from now, completely different lives. Just come back together.
I'll book the room.
Yeah, we'll book this room. We'll bring a Red Bull again and forget.
Thank you, James, for that question. That was really great.
There's another question.
Oh my god.
And this guy kind of doxes himself. Other than James in our group, I wonder who this could be. Other than James in our group, who would be the most likely to throw it back at your wedding? Who would Velvet be least disappointed with if they started jiggling it on the dance floor?
Least disappointed with if they started throwing it back on the dance floor at my wedding. Least disappointed? Okay, that's an interesting question because I was gonna say most disappointed. You. I think Matt Boyce.
Matt Boyce.
Matt Boyce.
He will jiggle.
He would jiggle. I think he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I think it goes circular.
I think we forced James to do it after that question.
Thank you, James. Great question.
Indeed, you were correct. That was James.
Yeah, he kind of gave it away with the Lumi political yaoi stuff.
Not the apart from James question.
Not the apart from James.
That didn't really give it.
No, it's like I know I'm the only one sending him that stuff because it's only going to me.
All right, this next person, I messaged him. I said the Connor podcast is tomorrow. Bring me like the friend segment thing, and then he responded to me by saying, "You could never be replaced by AI." I don't know why he said this, but thank you to that individual. All right, there's a couple of questions.
Is that a question or
That was directed at me, but I thought it'll be nice to share on the podcast because I thought it was just.
Oh, did he actually then proceed to give some questions?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he just said, "I need questions for the Connor podcast."
He said, "I can never be replaced."
And then just said, "You could never be replaced by AI." That's it. He didn't respond.
We'll come back to this later, but some people haven't responded, and I have gripes with these people. Oh man! All right. What do you think would be the ideal way for politics to work in Australia, assuming no corruption, etc.? How would the balance of power work? Major versus minor parties, coalitions, or two-party domination? And then, as a follow-up, I'll ask that later.
Can I get a repeat on that? That was
Okay.
a long question.
What do you think would be the ideal way for politics to work in Australia, assuming no corruption, etc.? How would the balance of power work? Major versus minor parties, coalition, or two-party domination?
That's an interesting question to put forward. I have a great respect for our system. So I think the voting method we use, I forget the name of it now. It's like I forgot the name of it now.
Democratic.
No, not democratic.
I'm kidding.
Like the ranked choice voting that we do.
Oh, okay.
Like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I think that's a really, really good way to do it. I think it's a lot better than America's democratic system.
I definitely think so.
So I wouldn't ever get rid of it. I mean, I could say, ideally, we wipe out everyone. Albanese, fascist dictator for a million years. You know, glory to Chairman Albo. It looks like it's gonna be Chairman Albo, to be honest, because the coalition blew
the
up.
other parties as well.
The coalition blew up again.
Rough.
I think the only thing that we really need to do is there needs to be a big change in how donations work. I think donations and the infiltration of private companies into democratic systems is what kills them. And unfortunately, it's kind of impossible. It's like the question's asking, like, how do we get rid of corruption? You can't. The democracy is one of the most corruptible forms of government, like, because it's completely based on the will of the people, right? You don't have, and you have, because you want the representation of so many people, you have so many people involved. Yeah. It's like why, honestly, a dictatorship is one of the, like, is honestly almost as comparable because it's one person, right?
Yeah.
One person you need to corrupt in a dictatorship for your choice to come. But if they have a true vision in mind, that's going to be a hard vision to corrupt.
Yeah.
Like, versus an entire party where it's like, one person's not doing so well financially, and suddenly the oil lobby comes up and goes, how about you vote no on a couple of bills about, like, oil subsidies, and we'll give you, like, 100K.
Mm.
Like, that's an easy corruptible system. But really, there's not a lot you could do. But I would say that donations need to change, because I think the Minerals Council still provides, like, billions of dollars to, like, the Liberals. And even some Labour politicians, I think, infiltrated with the Minerals Council. Property developers, another terrible one that need to be shot and hung. You know, they'll be the first on the chopping block when we bring Robespierre back with the guillotine. Yeah.
The follow-up of this is, would you make any changes to our system? It's pretty much the same question. Preferential voting, House/Senate, or the voice, etc.
I'd put the voice in. I, like, didn't care, really. Like, I don't think it would have done a lot. But it's, you know, if it makes, like, them feel a lot better about it, you know. So that sounded very insensitive.
I think there's actually really good value to having, like, advisory bodies that are really connected to the community.
Yeah.
That also, like, get a chance to do announcements to a public level. Like, it's a very, like, and it doesn't necessarily, like, it can be all indigenous, but it can also just be, like, a group of people that are just there.
I think it could only work if it was all indigenous, to be fair.
There is sort of no other
there's a value to it.
Like
there is a value to it. I shouldn't blow it off so easily. It is it was a good idea. It's like, I'm very, like, much focused on, I want to get things done. Like, I'm a big fan of Zoran Mamdani.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan. I'm #1 Zoran cocksucker.
You can tell that I would be as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him so much. He's like day 23. He's done like 5 major things already. Like, it's like, people can do things if they just want to do them.
It's especially surprising when I think every now and again there's people that come into power that really show how much someone can do, no matter how low of a level they're at.
Yeah.
And I think, like, bringing that power into society sort of, like, it creates, like, a really nice feeling in general. Like, it feels like things are a lot more controllable than they used to be, and things can change for the positive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's also, like, I'm not going to blow off Labour too much. Like, I understand there's a major difference between Zoran and, like, the current Labour government. Like, Zoran's government can't just, like, you know, if he does, like, things and the media doesn't like it, they can't throw together, like, you know, a massive smear campaign in about 20 days and then suddenly the opposition party throws a snap election and votes him out. Zoran's stuck in there for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 years guaranteed he can do whatever he wants, basically. Versus, like, Labour, there's policies in place that mean that if they don't play their cards right and the population turns on them too much, or the media doesn't like them, the major, or like organizations can put together a smear campaign. I mean, if you watch Kevin Rudd's interview with Friendly Jordies, it was like,
which one? Yeah.
yeah, it was like, every time they did something, it was like, oh God, what's Murdoch gonna say about it now? Like,
Yeah.
they spent
Yeah.
half their time in government sweating about what the media was gonna do to them.
I think what happens as well is that when you have, when you have like so many different things that you have to appease at the same time, a lot of the time our like initial purpose of the policy becomes lost, and then the thing that's finally pushed out is so far different to how it started, and then like there's so many complicated little bits here and there that it's like it's sort of sad that that sort of is what goes down in politics nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would I change? Yeah, changes in donations, and I would do something about the media. The media's got to go. Start killing journalists. Yeah. No, I would say like we need to publicly own some of the media, or we need to put in some anti-monopoly laws that actually have some teeth in them.
I'm actually really scared about the way that the things are starting to become like things are like even things are mentioned to be like privatized. I don't like the idea of privatization of a lot of things that are currently. There was a discussion about Sydney Water being privatized in between, and that was really scary. I thought, and it was surprising how people didn't find that
I
scary.
made a wrong turn onto a toll road,
Yeah,
and I got charged like $30.
it genuinely hurts my heart when the roads aren't owned by the government. So I'm paying a private business for using something that the government
It hurts
built.
my heart when I end up dropping 45, $50 on a freaking round
Yeah.
trip somewhere.
Literally, yeah, yeah.
It hurts my heart.
Like my way up today would have been about $15, $15
Yeah.
to $20. And that's just because like I just wanted to get here early to prepare for this. And it's like I don't know, and the hard part about it is that when you build these toll roads, it's oftentimes that the only people that are using them are people that live far away anyways that can't afford to live next to the city. So the
Yeah.
people that are paying for it are people that can't afford it in general. And it's like it defeats the whole purpose. Like why are we like charging on roads that are specifically made for people to travel out? In fact, we should be incentivizing people to be coming from outside the city so we get a lot more of a distribution of resources across our like city. But like it's like there's just so many moving parts. The tough thing about politics all the time is that there's so many moving parts that depend on one another, which makes it more and more complicated as you go down the rabbit hole. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Um, Thank you for the question to this individual. There is another question. Um, if you could take one element of another culture, like Japanese, since it's his second home, and introduce it to Australian culture, what would it be? This is an amazing question, by the way.
This is an amazing question. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot that I'd like to do. The sorry, they asked that question, and I instantly my mind went to like bringing Japanese culture to like Houston, Texas, and they like cross the road, stop and bow to like the truck.
That would be so funny.
That was like the video I keep thinking of. I'm gonna go on like a rant while I think of it like an answer that I can come up with. It's like there's like a just tragic difference between like here, like America and like Japan. And that would be like everyone's so loud here. Everyone's yapping and like so loud. And
prime example.
So no, I'm talking like in public, like on the trains and stuff. Like you don't really get like eshays in Japan. Like there are like delinquents and stuff, but even they're like quiet on the train. There's like something like rotten in our brains or something, like maybe from like the alcohol. That's like we are just a much more like outwardly. How would I say this? Like, we're a lot more of an extroverted culture.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like it. Like I, feel like I'm slightly nervous whenever I'm like walking down the street in Australia.
Oh.
Like I feel like, I could be tackled by like someone, or like I'm just gonna get yelled at by like some random crackhead or like something like that. And yeah, that's partly of the area I live in, but I don't feel that way at all in Japan. And it's like, but I couldn't isolate that down to one thing and say like I want to bring that to Australia. Like, I'd say the public transport.
Public transport.
Public transport.
Completely delve away from the
Yeah, just like I just like if I could like click my fingers, I would like switch subway systems instantly. Like I hate the public transport in Sydney. With a burning passion. Yeah. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this to the day I like. This is what radicalized me. This is my radicalization. This is my Luigi Mangione moment. It's like, I have to kill Transport New South Wales CEO. It was like I landed in Japan. The first time I ever went to Japan, I landed there with my dad, and we landed just as like a cyclone started. We were like the last flight in before they shut the airport. So we landed, and I remember we were like walking through this like pathway to get to like the train, and like it was like those corrugated iron like roofing stuff, like, you know, and then there was a gap in between like each thing. It was like a it's like the walkway was made of like a million like bus stops, like, you know what I mean? Like
I see
like the small roof and then like a gap, and every fucking gap was a wall of water. And like the wind was blowing so loud, like we ended up getting to a hotel, and like you could hear it just outside, like everything clacking, and you know, it was like a full typhoon. We went to sleep. We woke up in the morning. It had passed. Like it was a bit dirty outside and everything. And I remember walking. We were like, well, let's get it started with our trip. Like, you know, we're gonna don't let the day go to waste. And we got to the train station, and there was like all these warnings on the screen. It's like, oh, you know, lines are down on there, here, like trees fell and stuff. And all of them were like, please expect a 5-minute delay.
Oh wow.
And I was like,
that's unheard of here.
In Australia, like, a leaf falls on the track and it's like track work for 3 months.
It's
like,
the blank. It's the blank next to the like the party gate.
It was like
that's what goes on.
You went through a typhoon and your trains are like 5 minutes delayed. Are you serious?
That's insane.
That's insane. Like we don't have that here whatsoever.
I remember like on the airport line, there was a period of time where like I would go to uni and then come back to the train, and I would stand at Central. There would not be a train coming for hours. I stood there from about 10 p.m. till midnight. Not a single train to go to my home. At that work night. Like, it was really horrible. And it's like, yeah.
There's something fundamentally wrong with our system, and I don't know what's wrong with it.
I'm not sure what it is. Because it seems like when you're on a train and it's going to its destination, it does a good job at doing that when it's doing it. It's not like it's not like atoms decide to disappear halfway and then you unphase into a different reality and take an hour detour. Yeah. It's like when you're going. It's actually really good in that way.
It's like we're such a caste-centric society, right? Like that's the thing about Japan is it's all built in the public transport. They have to have it.
I had this thought actually a little while ago about like imagining how the city would be like if there were no roads in the city and everything was like underground public transport and it was just like green walkways and everything like that, and how like interesting of an area it would become. Like even like if you think about a little taste of it is like near Darling Harbour, that sort of like walkable area. If that was like the entire city,
that'd be great.
Like
that'd be
imagine
so great.
And all public transport is just metros underneath or like trains
that would
or
be
some
peak.
stuff.
That would be so peak.
It would just be.
You know what the thing is, right? Is like one of the biggest things about Japan and why like their public transport systems are like that is because they have to be, because their society has been built up since like the Edo period, the Meiji period, right? They're still building on the same kind of infrastructure. So their roads in Tokyo, their roads in Kyoto, their roads in even Osaka to an extent are made for like horse and carriage. Because that was the epitome of what they had, because they're still built on the original foundation from when they weren't cars.
Yeah.
So like that's why you don't see a lot of cars in Tokyo, is because they don't have the space for them. The roads aren't built for them.
It's good.
So they can't fit cars down there. Or if you actually see their cars, they've all got those little box tiny cars or the tiny trucks. Yeah. Right. And you know what the most drivable city in Japan is?
What is?
Hiroshima.
Oh, okay. I see.
Can you guess why?
It's because I had to rebuild it.
They had to level it. But it's like, if you think about it here, we were complaining about it earlier. The city's not fucking drivable either.
It's not like it's like we have a car-centric city.
And up until you walk into the CBD.
And up until you
get to the CBD, and then the CBD is hardly drivable. I'd hardly call that drivable. Every road's like 40 k's. Every turn is like the tightest 90 degrees you're doing. Like, it's not a drivable city, yet the public transport still doesn't make up for it.
Yeah. I think there's been steps towards like a metro, but everything gets delayed so much that it's like pointless at that point. Like it's anyways,
Liam.
Wait, there's a... Okay, that's all the questions from this individual. Liam. You guessed Liam. This was not Liam.
Really?
No. It always, every single time I do this segment, the questions always surprise... Like, the caliber of the questions always surprise me.
I thought that was Liam, because, like, I only really talk politics with Liam.
No. Did you want to take another guess, or you...
No, I want to hear it.
This is Anton.
What the hell, Anton?
This is Anton. You know?
Anton,
you know what I mean?
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I'm impressed. That was good questions, Anton.
Thank you very much, Anton. Those were amazing
really
questions.
That, Anton.
Okay, this next question. This is one question is, are you from Tennessee?
Because you're the only 10 I see.
That was the whole question. You added to the question. Yeah. It was just that.
Am I from Tennessee? Sadly, no.
And then the serious one is, what are you most afraid of?
Letting everyone down.
Wait, I should answer some of these questions too, but I'll quickly answer the culture one, and then actually you can. Did you want to expand on that answer, or you at peace with the letting everyone down? Yeah.
Thing.
Okay.
No, I'll expand on it after you're done.
If you take one element of another culture and introduce it to Australian culture, it's really interesting because my sort of like way of going down is sort of like the opposite to your initial rant. I think one of the big problems here is that you have like a loneliness sort of like crisis here. I think one thing culturally that I really want from another culture is if you go to Europe, or even if you go to Pakistan, if you go to these areas, cafes and restaurants are open at night. We need this, please. Just open stuff at night. Leave them open. People can have a nice, enjoyable time without it always having to be alcohol. I don't personally drink. There's other people in society that don't personally drink. They have plenty of people to hang out with. There's beautiful people in Australia. There's great people here. You just need the infrastructure to be able to do these things. If we can have things open at night, you have a happier society, a happier, it works in so many levels. And then on top of that, because at night you'll have safer environments open than what pubs and bars can be, I feel like the community and culture will be a lot safer to walk around in because you would have to accommodate. And
yeah, I think that's true. That's a good answer, actually. Good job, Ali. That's a really good observation.
I didn't prep any of them.
I know, but that's that's actually really smart because the way it leads on, right?
Because I think
as an ex-service worker, I would have killed you. One of the worst things I had was whenever someone came in at 1 a.m. being like, "Can I have a coffee?"
But at the same time, if the 1 a.m. moment was like everyone's going out and there's still people around and it's not like only the drunks and only the gronks are out, it'll be a different vibe in general. People working for these places would be a lot more happy as well. Imagine working for these places and the families that would come in at a bright 3 p.m. in the afternoon would instead do their dinner at 9 p.m. and then walk out of the shop and there's all families just walking around. Yeah. It's very relaxed.
I mean, obviously if we change that culture, there'd be more staff put on, so I wouldn't be the only one there. So
that as well, yeah. Sense, yeah. And then it would create a lot more freedom for the workers to be because currently the way that it is that everyone works 9 to 5, right? Or majority of people work 9 to 5. So I'm spitting a lot. I don't know what it is. I'm working 9 to 5. Then by the time you get home from work, everything's closed. Weekdays, what are you meant to do in a society where you're struggling economically anyways? How are you meant to afford having someone else at home with you on a weekday to be able to provide anything for the family apart from doing just 1 weekend bulk buy, which is not the best sort of system to have.
Exactly, I get you. Yeah.
But yeah, That's my answer for that question. What am I most afraid of? I do have to jump on the bandwagon here of like letting everyone down. Yeah, there's something about that that's just particularly fearful.
Disappointment. Disappointing everyone that's close to me. It's probably my biggest fear.
I
That's
think so.
yeah. It's always been my biggest fear, I think.
Actually, no, more than that. I think it's disappointing myself.
Really?
Yeah, because I actually have quite a lot of. This is like a really egotistical, confident thing that I have. I don't think I'll disappoint other people. I don't think I just don't think it would happen. But it's because I like to think, or I think that my bars are set pretty high for myself. And I think that I'm scared of not making those bars. And then it's like, if you're scared of that point, it's like you're never going to get to that sort of zone. For me, like if I can't make my bars, that's what really scares me. Especially when it comes to like morals and values. If you go through a circumstance and you're like, okay, this went against what I think, that shakes me.
Yeah.
There's been like a few times in my life where that's happened, where you like genuinely like regret an action, or like you do an action and you're like, that's not me. That's a really scary scene to be in. It feels like your whole world crumbles, to be honest. Yeah.
That's reasonable. Yeah. I can kind of see it from that perspective. I feel like I don't have the highest expectations for myself, so I never feel like I'm letting myself down.
Mhm.
But like letting other people down that's close to me, like that, believe in me and doing something, and let's say I don't achieve that, or I don't really put in the best effort to achieve that, I'm scared of their reaction to that. Knowing that
I
I
think it's
had
more
the
like you're just
potential to do better and I didn't do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon these two questions came from?
What was the first one again?
Are you from Tennessee?
Am I from Tennessee?
As in, what are you most
What
afraid
am I
of?
most afraid of? Uh, God, I have no clue. I have no idea who the pool of people. Finn?
No, no, he's someone that hasn't answered me.
Oh, okay. I'll re-guess. Who didn't answer you? Can I rule them out? Rule them out?
Callum and Finn. Wait, I might have just doxed him. No, it still hasn't responded. Thank you so much, Callum. I love you, Callum. I'm sorry.
Who's on the flame list?
Callum and Finn.
That's it. That's it.
Well, I didn't want to. Those people I can flame and it's chill because
Yeah.
and some people I'm like, oh, I don't really want to flame too much.
Okay.
I
So we've got Antoine and James.
and I was about to flame someone, but they sent me
A last minute question.
a question at 2:45 when I said we're starting at 2.
Oh, so right now. Oh, sorry, no, an hour ago.
Surprisingly, it's already been an hour and a half almost. So
Jesus, it's
yeah,
gonna be a long episode.
do you understand why these podcasts feel like?
It's gonna be a long episode. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
So
I don't really care about the viewers. So.
Nicola?
No.
I don't know.
This was Ryan.
Oh, Ryan.
He usually asks very like extensive questions, so it was a bit of a throw off this time. I like that.
It was the
He
fear
switched it
question
up.
that I got through because it was like psychology. Nicola.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This next person asks. Wait, let me check. I think they've updated.
Do it bounce.
There's been that was James's question. Where is he? He's here. Okay. You have the most impeccable fashion taste I've seen in a man. What's it like being a soulful white boy?
Thank you for that. I don't think I had the most impeccable taste in fashion.
You have a really good taste in fashion, I do have to say.
Thank you. I used to not care about what I was putting on. I used to just put on the first things I grabbed out of the closet. I don't even know what changed in me. Something clicked, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start like caring a little bit about how I look.
The Flash. You watched The Flash?
It wasn't The Flash.
"That's
It was
it."
this was after
I'm
The
kidding.
Flash. This was long after The Flash. This would have been like when I was like
You saw Barry Allen and you're like, damn.
it was like when I turned like 15. I suddenly was like, oh, I actually care about how I dress.
Yeah, but that's like over 90% of males in general. So
Yeah. Was it like being a soulful white boy?
yeah,
It's really incredible. But I'm sure that whoever asked this question is also a soulful white boy.
Yeah, out of the pool of soulful white boys that I
We're
know.
mostly
Yeah.
all white men. So.
Yeah, I'm the old one out,
Newton's
which essentially I am pretty much a white guy when it
Newton's
comes to
first
it.
law is a white boy in motion will stay in motion.
Mm, the motion of the ocean.
That was good word association. I liked that.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you. Oh, Anton's on top of word association. Get him in here. We won't stop. Okay, the next one is from the same person. When a new viral shitpost spawns every 6 to 7 hours, how does one successfully maintain a healthy balance between brain rot and being a normal human being?
Oh,
He held you at a really high bar here, like a normal human being.
he considers me a normal human being. I'm assuming he's
Wow.
asking because he assumes that I have a good disconnect between the brain rot and the.
We were actually having a conversation about this, about like the disconnect in between, and this wasn't brain rot in this case. It was disconnecting between the news. When we were at dinner with
yeah.
last time that we were talking, yeah,
Yeah, we're down at Cronulla. Yeah, I remember. I guess we could just kind of reapply that. It's always good to have a. For me, it's a little different because I have my job.
yeah,
And my job forces me to interact with a bunch of people that don't necessarily understand brain rot.
yeah.
So that's a nice grounding anchor to the real world
Mm-hmm.
versus like online. But honestly, it's just growing up. Like I just don't have the energy in me to keep up with all the trends and everything, and just you stop caring about the internet as much.
Yeah.
You realize that a lot of it is like purely manufactured, like rage bait, and it doesn't actually matter. Like I used to be in like a lot of online communities and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like I used to be in like fandoms of like
Oh
properties
yeah.
I liked and things like that, and there used to be all fights about, I think they're gay. No, I think they're straight. It's like
Yeah.
shout out Persona fandom. It's still awful, but like you just like I think I just like turned 20 and I just like, oh, I actually don't care anymore. Like
Yeah, I think something really interesting happens when you turn 20. You start to realize you just, in every facet of life, I don't need to anymore. And then it
Yeah.
applies to almost everything.
Yeah, well, so I just
Um,
stopped playing like online games. I was just like, I don't need to play Counter Strike.
Yeah,
I don't need to be called like
I
the
didn't
N
get
word
dragged out
7
of
times.
League. I'm still in there.
It's still in there. I was like, I dropped Counter Strike. I was like, I don't need to be called the N word 7 times.
Yeah,
For,
very
like,
valid.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a maturity thing. I think, but
Okay.
you just like obviously, whenever I'm bored, like I'll just scroll Twitter and stuff, and I'll see shit posts and I find them funny.
Yeah.
Six out of that.
Funnily enough, without me mentioning it once in this podcast, it has been mentioned on I think 2 or 3 out of the 4 episodes that we've done.
You can
But
take
yeah.
that question for it. You put the 6 to 7 hours a day.
He did write 67 hours. I didn't even notice that. I'm so boomer when it comes to these memes, man. Who asked this?
So Finn didn't ask because I was gonna honestly call that for Finn.
Finn didn't even answer last time.
Finn's a wimp.
No, I actually asked a lot of people. I asked a decent amount of people. I asked like an extra 4 people than what usually comes up in the episode, and they usually what ends up happening is they think of an answer, but then they forget about the message, and then they just don't message back. They go, "Wait, I actually thought of something." Like,
I'm gonna go with Nicola with a chance for it to be Velvet.
It was a Liam.
Liam.
Liam, yeah.
Liam thinks I have impeccable fashion taste.
Yes, he does. He really
Liam's
does.
a fashionable guy.
Liam is a fashionable.
Liam's a cute twink. I would say like because I never met him at like UCID, but like if I had met him like if I'd seen him at UCID and I was single, I would have hit on him, 100%.
Valid, valid. I don't swing that way, but
Yeah.
more power to the men, you know. What? No, not more power.
More power to
Moving
the man.
on.
More power to the
Next,
man.
the next question, comes from this individual. They say, "What did you want to do when you were a kid, and what would child you think of what you are now, or what you would want to be now?"
Well, we kind of touched on that. I was like, I did want to be a forensic scientist when I was young, but I think like I also wanted to be like an animator. I wanted to be a lot of things. I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to be a YouTuber. obviously.
Hmm.
Um, but I think my child me would be proud of where I am today.
Okay.
I think they'd be a little disappointed in how long it took me to get there,
I think that's most of us, to be
but
honest.
I
I
think
think
that,
when you're a kid, and I speak to a lot of cousins and that, they have like a really interesting sense of time. A lot of it, they're like so. Sometimes I would speak to them, and then if they're like about 5 years old, um, and they'll be like, "Oh, like how old are you?" And I was like, "How old do you think I am?" 15. And I'm like, I'm not 15, man. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, man. I'm 22 or 23. I don't know. 22 I am, I
you're
think.
22.
Yeah. And then that would be like, oh, that's so old. And I'm like,
Unk,
thanks, man.
unk,
Thank you.
unk.
But like they think that like I don't know, in their mind they just think everything progresses a lot faster.
I
And
have
then you go through life and you're like, thank God it doesn't progress faster than already the pace that it is. Like
God, I get applicants that are born in like 2007, 2008, and I go to reject them because they're not old enough.
you become one of them.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, you're 18 already. You are legally allowed to do this. Oh my God. Um, yeah. I mean, I always had a very secret, like, I always wanted to be like a doctor. I did kind of want to be a doctor, but I always thought I'm never going to be smart enough to be it. But well, I never understood chemistry. I always liked playing with like the chemicals in the tubes.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I know I'd be happy now because I'm technically a scientist, but I'm like a fake scientist.
You get to actually play with it, you know?
Yeah,
Like you're like in child terms, you're like actually doing what you want.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
I'm
nice.
just like a fake scientist, like not a real one.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
This person asked us to also play Smash or Pass on everyone in the friend group.
Okay.
So yeah, the first person I would outline is Anton,
Smash.
James,
Smash.
Ryan,
Smash.
Liam,
Smash.
Daniel Borg.
Pass.
Ooh. Who else is in that friend? Finn.
Pass.
Um, Let me get the group chat open.
Nicola.
Nicola,
Smash.
you were thinking of it, mate. Roy,
Smash.
Luke,
Pass. Pass now. He got that stupid beard. I hate it.
and Callum.
Pass.
Okay. All right, and this person asked one more question. Could you do your best sea lion impression? Go on.
Uh.
Amazing, amazing. And now, would you like to guess?
Velvet.
Yes, it was Melvin indeed.
It was the smash or pass question. I was like, that's a hit list I'm building for her.
Oh yeah,
Every
yeah.
one of those people that I said smash to, I'm dead within a week.
I intentionally didn't include myself. I was like, let's not get killed in the next 24 hours.
It was the sea lion impression that actually gave it away.
Yeah.
Because I actually asked her today.
Oh, you asked her.
She was like, I think when did she send the sea lion impression question? Because I was
This
making
morning.
breakfast for her this morning, and I said I can't remember what it was, but then she was like doing something. I was like, "Can you give me your best sea lion impression?"
That's pretty funny. Okay, that's huge. Yeah, so that's the friends segment done.
I rate this friend segment.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think we'll do one more segment before the final segment of the podcast.
Okay.
The next segment is messages to your younger self. Is something that I've been bringing up recently. You would have heard it from the other podcast.
Yes.
But like, what is a message you will send to yourself as you're entering kindergarten?
As I'm entering kindergarten, um, it's not as bad as it seems.
I thought your message was not as bad as it seems, and your bad
No,
as
no,
this
no,
something
no, no,
horrible.
it's not as bad as it seems. I
Okay.
was bitter in school. I was very
Okay.
bitter. I remember. I think about on it a lot now with a bit of regret. Like
Okay.
I stomped around the school. I mean, part of it was medications and things like that, but overall, I wasn't particularly bullied. But I've had this complex in my head that I was a victim of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Like Kai Williams or something like picked on me a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
poked a bit of fun at me because I was probably acting a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But in my head, I was like, I'm the biggest victim in the world. Like,
Yeah.
and I think I took that because of like media consumption and like, oh well, I'm a nerd,
Mm-hmm.
like so I have to be bullied, even though I wasn't really.
Yeah.
And I think I just let that bitterness enter me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I moaned and groaned through a shit ton of school, and I wish I had just enjoyed it a little bit more, even tried to enjoy it a little bit more.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of parts to it that obviously, and, there's a lot of injustice that I did go through in school, not to name names, that's a way too heavy topic to get into on this,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
like there was
That's a
stuff.
post-podcast ramen moment,
That's
people.
a post-podcast of ramen moment. Trademark, copyright. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a message to kindergarten.
That would be my message to my like kindergarten self, is to take it a bit easier,
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to enjoy it a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about like entering year 7?
That would definitely be my message for year 7 then,
Yeah,
actually. So let's go to kindergarten again. What would I say to my kindergarten self? Don't punch.
It's a hard one.
Don't punch that kid in the nose. Yeah.
You don't have to.
Why don't you answer? I'd like to hear what you'd have to say.
I think I did answer in a previous podcast, but I said that in kindergarten, I don't really have much to say to myself because I was like, as a kid, I was always like a nice, bubbly, bright individual, and that's just what I did. And I thought that was like an amazing like primary school experience. I think just like probably like encouraging him. I think the first thing I would do is just give him a hug, just a nice thing. Just encourage him. Just be like, yeah. Just make sure your confidence is high. Just keep it going, It's a good time to have your confidence high in kindergarten to year 6.
I would tell my kindergarten self to get diagnosed with ADD.
Yeah?
Go home and tell
a very
mum
big switch up from my
Go home and tell mum you have ADD and go get the meds. Because you're going to have a lot of an easier time when you're just focusing.
That's fair enough.
Also, take more photos of the big red day that hit Sydney back in 2007.
Oh yeah. I
remember that day still. That was so weird.
Yeah.
Could sell them to the magazines for a bit of money.
You could. Yeah. And then
take my original answer. That's what I tell myself in year 7.
In year 7,
but
I think it would just be like. It would be stuff about like don't be so scared in year 7ish, because I think it's just a new environment and it's fine. And I think I was already a little bit excited to just go into year 7.
Did you come to Trinity year 7?
Year 9, end of year 9.
Oh really?
Yeah. So in year 7, I think, again, it's not much different. I think I'm very fortunate that I'm pretty happy with like the way that things went. I think probably. In year 7, it would be like just keep it going, like just get used to the new environment sort of thing. Just like make sure that you're confident you're out there. Then there's a year 9, and the way that I frame it for people that have gone to Trinity like us is like going into the field studies camp. Sort of like that time. What would your message be? And then my answer is going to be split into 2 because it was a bit different.
Yeah. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I went in going like, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna want to go home the whole time, and I loved it.
I think that's the thing with camps.
I loved field studies.
Yeah.
So much.
I really enjoyed field studies as well. I think I always knew that I was gonna enjoy it. So I don't know if I've told this story already on the podcast, but in year 9, I had like an incident with like a teacher and another student in between, and then I was like pretty done with my school, and the only person I knew was. So I had a friend, one of my best friends in DLSL. His friend was Noor Abdullah. And that's the only guy that I knew in Trinity. And then I told my parents I really want to go to Trinity. So going into year 9, I would say to like, I've like lived a life where I'm like very nice and very like rule book sort of guy as a kid. I think being a bit more mischievous. just like mischievous in a way that like you're not getting like Noah Abdullah kind of mischievous. Like you're not doing anything
I wish I
wrong.
mucked around more.
You just muck around. Like it's not like you're not messing around with a kid. You're just making a fool of an environment. Just enjoy the moment. Build up confidence by doing that. I think that's what I'll tell myself in year 9, because it was a bit of a odd time for me because like I had problems in my old school and then I moved into this school. And when I moved into this school, the interviewer that I had was Mr. Lecky. And I remember him asking, "Oh, we offer like a 1 month camp, and like you guys should consider it and everything like that." It was really funny that I was sitting in that interview. I was like, "Yeah, I'm so down for the 1 month camp stuff." Like, and my dad's just shaking. He's like, he's gonna go for a month, and he hasn't even known anything about the school. I was full excited, proper bubbly boy. I was just always like that. I really enjoyed that. I think just introducing a bit of mischief. I think in the year 9 camp as well. I think you can like there's a lot of nerves going into it as a kid that's only been in the school for a week, just jumping into an environment with people you have no idea about. But I think that also formed a lot of the way that I am now.
I think that
Where, like,
helped. That probably
it
would have
was
helped.
really good for a person like me.
Yeah.
I can see that being horrible for someone else, but for me, it was like genuinely like part of the reason why you see me so confident in public, confident with anyone, just confident overall. Like it comes from me having to change environments, and fortunately, I'm just generally liked by people, which is nice. It's just nice to have that foundation. So I can walk around with confidence in public. Like if I bump into a random person that started a conversation, I'm pretty sure that person wouldn't hate me. Like it's nice to have that. And just making sure that I still build up this stuff from year 9, because that was so integral to how I am today. Um, the next part is year 12. So going into your final year, your HSC, year 12. What would you say to that Connor?
Uh,
Been a bit of a while.
been a little bit of a while, only 6 years. There's this thing going around called COVID. They're gonna find a vaccine.
Yeah.
Check Alexander Simpson's hard drive. There was a lot that year. There's a lot of stuff that I could say that I can't say on the pod, but
post podcast ramen moment.
Post podcast ramen moments. What would I say? Overall, I really liked Year 12. There's not a lot I would like change or like. Year 12 was honestly the best.
Year 12 was genuinely the best. Like I enjoyed how you would have noticed this in me. I really leaned into my mischievous self in like year 11 and 12, and like I don't regret a bit.
You were a
of it.
troublemaker.
I was a troublemaker in a way that teachers were always really happy with me. There was no problems with them pretty much ever. They knew it was like pretty much awful banter. There was no stress, no drama, no stress. But yeah, that was year 12. I also realized that I missed a question for the friends segment, so we'll come back to that soon.
Okay.
But the next one goes into like going into uni.
Study hard, work your way out.
Mm.
You know, get out of Macquarie. I would get out of Macquarie way sooner.
Okay.
And I would try to study harder to keep my marks up so that I could transfer over.
Yeah.
That'd be what I told myself. That's my only real regret, is that I stayed there so long and I was stuck there for so long.
Yeah. No, I did notice like it was like a big thing for you, getting so close with us and getting so close with like, like the feeling of the passive feeling of knowing that people are around even. Like even if I don't end up seeing James for a whole semester or don't see Anton or someone for a whole semester, just knowing that they're there.
Yeah, I just know
just
that
a
you guys
whole
are up the
separate
road.
feeling.
Like
it's.
I mean, it doesn't work out that differently now because I got out of night shift, and so now my class is a night shift. But I just feel more available now.
Yeah, and it feels like it's your home.
I feel healthier. I feel happier. I feel more around. Like I'm not asleep till 3 o'clock in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
You know, waking up and then answering messages. I'm up at like 8 a.m. I can call you guys on my way to work.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Just chat to you guys at work. You know, I have my phone on my desk. I usually just look at it. I'm usually scrolling Twitter for like 30 minutes before I actually do any work.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. And then for me, uni time, what did I say to myself? I said this before in I think one of the episodes, or maybe it might have been a private episode that I did. Um, attend everything in person, like as much as you can. I think I did too much, like even like lectures, doesn't matter, just attend it. Organize an event straight after. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna attend my lecture, then I'll have lunch with someone, or like attend the lecture. Just be there. Like I think that's the most important thing for me.
It's a smart
'Cause
move.
I think by being there, you unlock so much more pathways to meet people, and then if you've organized something after, the good thing that I've noticed with the uni is that because like there's people around, I'm like, okay, I'll just go study with Oscar or I'll study with James or I'll study with someone after. It's
Yeah.
like I don't have the pressure of like I have to go to this lecture and I have to make a connection here. It's like I'm already going somewhere else. If connection happens, it happens. I've got my foundation here as well. It just boosts that sort of like easygoing sort of like vibe for uni. And I think that's important. And also just not having to rewatch your lectures
You're
50
a
times.
smart man.
Just going to everything
You
is
can't put a
important.
real life lecture on double speed though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you can have banter with someone in
Yeah, well, you
person,
know what the
like
problem is?
during the
UTS
lecture.
don't
Yeah,
even have in-person lectures anymore.
that's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's like the dumbest thing that I've
Cut the
heard.
budget, bro. We gotta give more money
Oh
to
yeah,
like
you've had the consultants come in.
the consultant. We
Oh
needed to
yeah,
get like what are they called again? McKinsey in to bloody restructure
ah
UTS again.
the squad coming
Yeah.
in and cutting the most
We're in one of
important
the most
parts.
strenuous and tenuous like diplomatic times of our life where
They
like
cut out.
war is on the brink. War is on the brink of every front, and they cut every
Did
single
they
in.
cut out like a science degree or something? Or
They cut
like
out.
the
They cut out part of the forensics degree. They got rid of our of our honors, I think. Um, and then they got rid of every like a diplomat degree as well. Every like international law degree and international diplomacy degree.
it's especially surprising because UTS is like known for these degrees. Some of these degrees that they've got rid of, they're like,
Yeah,
this is what people go to this uni for, and it's like, yeah.
unlucky buddy.
Anyways, the next part of this segment of the messages to your younger selves is like a message to your future self. So where do you like, um, so my idea behind these podcasts about this individual time is that during these holidays for like the next few years at least, I'm gonna have this period of time pretty much free. So I'm thinking I'm gonna bring people on the next year, and you can reflect, and part of it would be about reflecting on the previous one.
Okay.
So like a message to a year forward of yourself, like what do you want to achieve by then? Like what, like yeah, I think it'll be pretty funny to reflect on if you've achieved it or if the goals change over time. It's interesting to have something there, right? Yeah. So a year forward from now, Mr. Connor.
Uh, is Charlie Kirk still funny?
This
Is 6'7" still
is
funny?
gonna age so poorly.
And Sarah like weird. Um, keep it strong and steady, mate.
Keep it strong, soldier.
Stay strong. Stay steady. Uh, I mean, I'll probably be in the same place as I
Yeah.
am right now. A year from now, I've got another year on my degree,
Fair enough.
and then I've got permanency at my current job, so I don't have any
Yeah,
desire to go anywhere. So
that's fine. That's
take
fine.
an EOI somewhere, try and get EOI'd into the forensics department
Yeah,
instead of my current department.
fair
But
enough.
that's about it, really.
That's good. Doesn't have to be much right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't as the podcast goes on, there might be more that comes up. As you can see, this is a very long term project. That's why I'm not like pushing so hard on everything being like extremely perfect now. It's like little steps. But yeah. Thinking what I should. What's the time like? Alpha B. I think we'll go through this. This specific question hinges on the idea. Do you plan to have like children in the future?
I have been on and off about that actually.
Okay. So
I
like
didn't
on the
think about it.
hypothetical that you have children in the future, what sort of values or like one sort of like core this is part of this segment as well. It's a message to your future self when you have a family and your first child's about to be born. What sort of value do you really want to make sure is like around? That's the last part of this segment really.
I would want them. I mean, I think I was raised pretty well. Um, but I would want them to have like bravery to stand up for people. I would want them to not necessarily ruin their future, but I would want them to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would want them to call out the teacher for something.
I
if
like
they
that
were doing
idea.
something.
Yeah.
I would defend them in the principal's office.
It's really funny because I have a story for when I was younger. There was a kid that was bullying me, or like teasing me, or like whatever. And one day I had enough, and I punched that kid, and that was the one time in pretty much my entire schooling life that I've done anything even remotely around that. I remember coming home and I told my dad, and my dad was like, "Yeah, who do we talk to? We're gonna fix this issue. Who do we talk to? I have no problem. You hit that kid, you hit that kid. Like I know you. Like this is not something you do. There's a reason why you did this. More power to you and good on you for doing it.
Yeah.
Like that sort of parenting. Like if especially if you have a kid that's specifically like a good kid, I think that's like really important. I think sometimes like in our school systems, we have this idea that there's a rule set and there's no nuance to the rule set, and then it ends up only the good kids get punished and the bad kids don't care anyways, so it doesn't really affect. And it's like, yeah, I think that's a really good way of like seeing it, like bravery and like sort of just doing things that are daring and bold as a kid, because it's like a really good experimentation time.
It wasn't really what I was like, which is why I want them to be more like that than I was. You know, and only read feminist literature. You know, matcha. They'll be having matcha in the baby bottle, not milk.
There'll be a tote bag hanging from their like little cup.
There'll be a tote bag attached to the umbilical cord.
With little women inside.
Yeah.
All right. Now the last part of this podcast.
Wasn't there the friend question we missed?
Yes, there was. You know what? You reminded me. Thank you so much.
Before we go,
I am so sorry to this individual that will be revealed. But also, profanities at you, mate, because you sent this at 2:12. The first question is: a character arc often involves the character growing over time by facing challenges and weaknesses.
Yes.
If you were a TV show character, what would your character arc be?
Oh.
It's a really cool question.
That's a cool question.
All these questions, I'm always surprised by these questions. They're always amazing. I'm gonna think about my answers.
So if I was in a TV show, what would my character arc be? Reflecting my life. I think it would probably be getting used to the environment of the police. And like that real boyish.
Actually, just hold it for a second. I'm just gonna I'm gonna pause and play the podcast. We just have to sign in again.
Oh yeah.
Before it hits like 4:15.
Well, do you mind if I just jump to the bathroom?
You can. Yeah, you can jump and.
We'll do a pause and recap.
Yeah. All right. Hold on a second, guys. Oh wait, we need to do one big thing that happens in each podcast whenever we have to cut.
Yeah.
It's the clap. Do the clap. Amazing. All right, we're back.
We're back.
We never left, actually. We just clapped on the spot and clapped again. That's what happened. Yeah. All right. We were on that question. So,
what will my character arc be?
Yes. What would your character arc be?
Joining the police force.
Joining the police force. Yep.
Dealing with that culture, because it's gonna be kind of like an infiltration almost. Like, you know, I'd have to blend into it, but knowing that I don't necessarily agree with how a lot of it is.
I have found that interesting.
Yeah.
That like through knowing you from school, and then like I think telling me in like school time especially that Connor will join the police force, I'll be like, whoa, I just didn't expect that. It was very random.
Yeah.
But yeah. In terms of a character arc, I'm gonna think about this too. I think probably, without setting myself too high of a bar, I think it's gonna be right now when I'm studying for the GAM set, and by the time I get into med. There's a few types of character arcs that go on. I think there's a period of time that happened in school where I was sort of developing into like the like mischievous sort of like outgoing person that I am now. I think that was a character arc. I think that I think defines my life pretty well as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that question is quite well satisfied. The second question is, there's a deal where you get $10 million, but Ali has to go live in a Ugandan slum for 5 years with no outside help. Do you take it?
With no outside help, because I was gonna just give you a ton of money.
That would be a great idea.
Oh.
So it was $10 million, and me living in Uganda in the slum for 5 years.
And you're right there.
Already are. It's a great question
I'm sorry,
for this
Ali, I'm
person.
taking the 10 mil.
You know, I was actually gonna put a funny twist to this. If I was given the would you rather, and it's the same would you rather, that Ali lives in a slum for 5 years and Connor gets $10 million, why not? Sounds like a great experience.
I
It
feel
sounds
like
really
you are
funny.
the only person that I could find you would thrive in a Ugandan slum.
I'll bring my mic. Just sit down with some
Ali's
guy.
life in
I don't even
progress with
speak. I
some
don't even
random
speak the
guy.
language. I'm just sitting there with this guy. Um,
You would do Ali's life in progress with fucking Coney.
I genuinely think, give it like a few years, I will somehow get a leadership position in this slum and change it for the better.
You'd end up as like Coney's second in command for like the child army.
That would be
Do you
so
know who I'm
good.
talking about? Coney?
No, I haven't seen.
Do you not remember Coney 2012? Oh, he's like a
Is this a post-podcast watch moment?
no.
No?
God no. Coney was like a
God, no.
Coney was like a rebellion leader who had like an army of child soldiers.
Oh.
He's like a evil man, like criminal
Mm.
lord.
Sounds like me.
No, you'd do like an Ali's life in progress with him.
Yeah.
You'd have like you charm him over and be like, I want to do an interview with you.
That sounds amazing. I would love to interview him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for those questions to that individual. Who do you think that was?
Nicola.
That was Nicola indeed. Yeah, so now going on to our final segment of this
Ugandan
episode.
slums.
That was actually a really good. I enjoyed all of the questions from the friend segment. Have been
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you all. The last segment is our piece of media for the podcast. I'm aware that you brought some stuff in.
I did.
I don't know if you want to go. How much what would you bring in? Like,
I brought in like 2 things because you asked for
how about
my favorites for things.
That's
yeah.
great. How about we go one of those things?
Yeah.
Then I'll talk about my thing, and then you finish it
Yeah,
off with one of your things again. Yeah.
So Ali asked me to bring in my like favorite book or my favorite anything. So I have brought in my favorite book. So we'll start with my favorite book. I read this last year. No, I read this 2 years ago.
Thick book.
It's a thick book.
It's a chonker, that one.
It's 7 Eves by Neil Stevenson. Now, if you're any of my friends who are watching this, you've probably heard me gushing about this book.
I haven't.
It's a bit raggedy.
Well, because I'm mostly just poking you, making noises at you most of the time. So
Yeah, or throwing water bottles at my laptop. Ali threw a water bottle at my laptop in high school. That was a really fun moment.
I did. So the backstory to this is that I was sitting in the library, and Rory said, $10 if you throw your water bottle as a laptop. His laptop's like on this chair, like a really small chair, and it's charging, and it's like half a meter from the floor. And I'm like, I didn't even want the $10. He just said it, and impulsively I was like, yeah. I just throw it, and I didn't even expect it to hit it. Hit it dead on, and then his MacBook fell on the floor. And I felt guilty for like 10 different reasons. Firstly, I wasn't even meant to hit the laptop. I was just chucking the water bottle. Secondly, I didn't even know why I did it. It just happened. There's like 5 other different reasons. I still feel guilty to this day.
I feel bad.
He force-fed me coffee tequila. I've got ammo back to him.
I didn't mean to. So I feel bad because I do remember. I think I got very angry at you when you threw the water bottle at my laptop, like unreasonably angry.
I don't mind it.
But like, I mean, I was an angry child there. I remember I fist fight Rory in the library.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I did accidentally give you coffee tequila. I think I was a bit. I think I was.
It tasted great.
I think I was a bit drunk, honestly, and I.
No. There's no problem at all. I don't. I literally have no problems with it.
Anyway, shall we go back to the piece of media?
The book.
The book.
The book. Would you like to talk about your book?
I thought you were just reading the back first. It's by Neil Stevenson, the guy who did he's like one of the founding guys behind Cyberpunk, but this is just a pure sci-fi book, but I think it's a very interesting book because it goes very, very deep into like what like a world-ending scenario would be. So,
Ooh.
like, the concept behind the book is, uh, Earth is going to die. Like, the world is ending. So the moon basically blows up at the start of the book.
Okay.
We don't know why. I think it was like a object impacted the moon and shattered it
Mm-hmm.
into four distinctive pieces, basically. And then they turn into like five pieces and six pieces because they're objects in space and they
And they
collide
collide.
into
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
And then scientists very rapidly realize, oh, this is like cascading.
Yeah.
It's going to keep doing this. And then as they become smaller and smaller pieces and to turn into millions of pieces as they keep cracking and colliding into each other, they become smaller, which means their mass is smaller, which means
The
Earth's
Earth's gravity.
gravitational pull is going to pull them in.
Yeah.
And so I think it's called the white rain of like when all the rocks basically come in and it's like a million meteors hit Earth all at once.
Whoa.
So then the book becomes the Earth basically panicking and trying to turn the ISS into like a habitation ring.
That's so cool.
And
Such a
then
cool concept.
it's
Uh-huh.
our main characters are the astronauts that are already on the habitation ring, as well as then it grows as more and more people come in, and then they become centers of the story, and then stuff. And so the seven Eves refer to. Actually, I won't spoil. I won't spoil. Do you want me to spoil? Like, I could go very deep into it, or
Hmm. Don't hold on to that.
I'll
Hold
hold
on
on
to
to that.
that.
I will
Next year, spoil it. Next
I
year,
highly
spoil it.
recommend this book if you're into sci-fi. I highly recommend it if you like very descriptive uh explanations of like how pieces of machinery work. Neil Stevenson gets a bit of a hard on for describing technology and things. So there's like pages upon pages of description of like how each habitation ring works with like the mechanical components, all obviously fictitious.
Mhm.
They wouldn't actually work, I don't think.
I really like that idea.
But it's that stuff gets heavy, but the general concept and the story itself that it tells is very interesting. And
Yeah.
it goes into every aspect of sci-fi that I think you would like, while also grounded in a lot of realism, which
I
is
like
what
that,
I
yeah.
like. I don't like. I'm on my hover bike and I ride to Arasaka headquarters in Cyberpunk
I was
2077.
talking about this with someone that I think I was talking about this with Zeke, about like how in my sort of genre of books, I think the best books are the ones that are they follow majority of the same rules in reality, but they add like a few things in there that make it so different, and then like it provides you like a whole different perspective on how reality works, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like that book is like one of the books that sort of do that.
You would really like this. I remember watching the episode with James. I think you were into a lot of fantasy, and you hadn't really dipped into sci-fi.
I haven't dipped into sci-fi
This
yet.
is a big,
but
thick
I'm
book, but I think you'll like this. This
okay.
is sci-fi, very much grounded in realism, and
Mm,
it goes into a lot of morality of like humanity
I
as
like
well.
that.
It touches on everything you'd like, so I highly recommend.
I will take an extra read of that. All right. Um, Going on to my piece of media for this episode, I have brought in the book that James had
I'm
gifted me.
aware. Yes.
So James had gifted me this frog book, Murakami. I butchered that. That is the book. This is the book. Now James gifted me it with a bunch of little note tabs, and he noted like a bunch of quotes and a bunch of stuff that he really enjoyed, which was actually really beautiful while reading this. I found this book really nice in the way that it's not a heavy read at all. It's a very light, easy read. You can get this through this in one sitting so easily. Even like you see how thin it is, right? Even if you go through the pages, you'll notice some pages just have a picture on it or something like that. There's pictures in the book. It's a very engaging read. I really liked in this book how they used color in text to highlight certain things. And I also had my Google Translate app on on certain like images where they would have like I think it's Japanese or Korean. I think it's Japanese text.
It's Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese text. And I just found like there's like, so I've been reading into this like magical realism sort of vibe of books recently.
Yeah.
I think this book sort of does it in a very different. It leans a little bit more magical,
Yeah.
than my usual book, even though it's like quite realistic. I think the way that it like presents everything is just. I remember like I was so immersed in the story and the book. I genuinely felt most emotions that I've just felt in life. It's like I started the book off by like genuinely like laughing while reading. Like there was like parts of the book. There's like, not to spoil anything because you're more than welcome to read it. It's a very light read.
Yeah.
There's a character called Frog, right? And because it's like in Japanese culture, the person says Mr. Frog all the time. There's a continuous bit throughout the book where every time the guy says Mr. Frog, he says, "No, just call me Frog." And he like highlights it specifically before saying literally anything that any like it keeps going on as a bit. It just gets funnier and funnier as it goes on because the book has like a world-ending scenario, and this guy is like so concerned about not being like referred to as Mr. Frog that it's like really like comedic how like that continually happens throughout the book, um, and it's also really cool how they quote and mention people like Nietzsche in this book really
I literally
randomly.
just pulled open
Yeah,
this tab. It's as Nietzsche
it's like
said.
there's like a few references in there that are like well like it's it's like a well researched book as well. It's like the person has like put time in to insert things from different authors and different backgrounds as well. But yeah, I fully definitely recommend reading this to anyone out there, and I'm very very thankful and happy that James brought along this book.
This looks
Because it like
fascinating.
it fits with the vibe of book that I would like perfectly. It's like you have like a character that's going through a mundane life, and
Yeah.
then something comes in, and it's so different to the character themselves that the character sort of has to reshape the way that they think about stuff, and it's just like the experience of going through that journey with the character. And I'm a very emotive reader, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
I genuinely love going on with the journey as I'm reading. I take a longer time reading things than most people do, but that's because like I'm experiencing the book along with the characters. And I think this book is a really good book for that because if you take a while reading it, that's fine because like it's not that long regardless. But yeah, that's my piece of media for today.
That's fascinating. I was just paging through some of this, and I think the way that the pages are laid
It's so
out, it's
creative.
very artistic, and I
Yeah.
really, really like it. It would probably be the perfect example of how to use pictures in a book. This looks fascinating. I'll have to pick up a copy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Kinokuniya will probably have it.
You can even use this copy if you'd like,
Nah,
and then.
it's alright. I'll get my own.
But yeah,
But that's
that is my piece of
amazing.
media. There it is, the little frog. But yeah, did you want to go over your last piece of media and then?
I actually have last two pieces.
Last
of
two
media.
pieces of media.
I couldn't physically bring them in, but I decided to bring in a representation. So I'll show you.
Oh my god,
first.
you've done more preparation for this than what I've done for my whole podcast.
Here you go.
What in the world is going on?
Show the camera.
This is what he showed me. This is his piece of video that he couldn't physically bring in whatever this is. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Okay.
What?
So, I did say to you my favorite form of media is video games.
Yeah, I presume that would. Yeah.
These are both video games.
Okay.
These are two different video games.
Okay.
So we have here. This is
That looks like house. That looks like house screen.
This is Alan Wake.
Uh-huh.
And then this here is a meme from Silent Hill 2.
Oh, very nice.
ChatGPT could Mary really be in this town? So I'll go over each separate. I'm gonna go over Silent Hill first because I have a lot on my mind.
Okay.
Right there. Yesterday I went to go see the Silent Hill movie called Return to Silent Hill, and I was physically angry at how bad that was. So I need to go over. Don't go see the movie. Please play the games. Silent Hill 2 is like the granddaddy of the survival horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
And many of a game that has come out since have been directly inspired by Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil, Alan Wake is inspired heavily. Cry of Fear, Total Chaos, even Half-Life to an extent. Silent Hill 2 is an incredible atmosphere, and so in Silent Hill 2 is an incredible survival horror game that also is psychologically messes with you.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think everyone should experience this game. I played the remake, and I think it's just as good.
Okay.
There's a lot of purists that are like, no, you have to play the 1987 version on the Xiaomi phone. It's only available through emulation. No, play the remake. It's fine. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it explores an unreliable narrator, along with dealing with the fact that you are not a good person.
Mm.
James here, pictured here, looking at ChatGPT on his phone. James here is not a good person. He killed Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't tell us that. And the entirety of the game basically takes place in his head, fighting with these very, very beautifully designed abstract creatures that are built off of his guilt and anger.
Whoa. I like that concept. Yeah. That's a really cool concept.
The whole game is just like a psychological torture device, but he's fighting his way through it as he fights to relearn the truth of what he did.
Whoa. Yeah, I like that. That's
the reason I hate the movie so much is because it's a James apologist movie. They take the entire premise of
the entire point of the
movie
whole
of the game is like, you're not a good person. You murdered your wife when she needed you most.
Yeah.
And you need to live with that. You can no longer escape from what you did. Because the whole time of the game, he's going, Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. No, she died because you put a pillow over her head, and she died 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And you keep her body in your car.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's at the end of the game when he finally realizes what he did. In the movie, James kills Mary by suffocating her because Mary told him to do it.
That's a cop out and a half. No, I don't know. This happens a lot.
I won't deny there is trauma behind that. Like, obviously,
yeah.
First of all, they're not married. It's his girlfriend, Mary, not his wife, Mary. So you automatically lose that kind of that connection there of like, she was the one you married her.
Yeah.
But then secondly, that doesn't get into like the anger of it, right? Like okay, I have to just completely spoil the game. Mary did have a disease.
Yeah.
Mary was sick in the game. And she was obviously going through these treatments, but it wasn't looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And she's human. She wasn't always the most pleasant. She wasn't the most kind to him. And she did lash out at him occasionally, but then immediately backtracked and was apologizing for the pain she's going through. But James couldn't deal with that. James wanted the perfect picturesque wife. And that's why he keeps the photo of her on him at all times, of this beautiful picture of her in the prime of their marriage.
Yeah.
But he couldn't handle that and abandoned her for like 3 weeks while Mary needed him while she was going through these treatments.
Yeah.
And then he grew bitter and about it until he finally came back and killed her.
Yeah.
Right? Which then deals with James's anger as a person. Just has pure anger issues, which you see through the game. He yells at people whenever they bring up Mary because they're not real. They're all figments of his imagination, but they bring up Mary, and then he demands them to explain to him why they know who Mary is and where she is. But in the movie, it's just like, survivor's guilt. But like, then they put all the classic monsters in that are representations of his anger and stuff, but it's not really. But it's just
it like cool misses monsters. The point.
Yeah,
of like
it completely butchers the whole story that's built around the environment, the monsters, the enemies, everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this happens sometimes with like representing like across different medias. Is that like I think one thing that has to be core in between them is truly understanding the like nuance and understanding why things exist as they are as plot points before
Yeah.
changing them. I think this happens in a lot of movies out there where like they have like a book of or a video game or something like that, and they sort of just like they don't know why things exist, but because they come from like a movie franchise, they're like, this is how movies work, and this is I know this is how it works. Let's just fit this into the movie without really.
It was like they clearly had the source. The guy knew about the game. Like he clearly knew a lot of the stuff about the game, and there was a lot of details that would have been like, okay, this is someone who has played the game. They have played it. I don't know why they
That's
did
really
this.
odd.
I
Yeah,
just don't know
that's
why they
just
did.
odd.
They even got the original composer back,
Oh wow.
but they
Okay.
didn't use any of the fantastic soundtrack. It was just like the
Huh.
composer did like a remake of one of the songs at the very end of the movie, and it was like 20 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
bit
purely
sad.
so dumb. Anyway, so I had to bring up Silent Hill 2, all time one of my favorite games. However, Alan Wake. I have to gush about Alan Wake. Now, Alan Wake's a little bit of a not as many people know that. My OG Ryan knows Alan Wake 2 is
Oh
goated.
yeah.
My OG Ryan. Day one. You know,
Big shout out.
love Ryan. I'll date him one day. What do I say about Alan Wake? Alan Wake is if you want Silent Hill done with supernatural elements that are actually real instead of just in someone's head, and the protagonist is not just a horrible person, play Alan Wake. It's another one of the "Where's my wife" genre that I like. I need to find my wife. I need to find my doggone wife. Alan Wake is a writer.
Okay.
And ends up in a supernatural entity that's at the bottom of a lake in a small town in Washington called Bright Falls, which is coined the Dark Place. Very creative name. Where his writing basically becomes reality. And he initially ends up there because his wife fell in the lake.
Okay.
So now his wife is in the dark place and he has to get her out. And so the entire first game is him figuring out how to make it work and write something that will satisfy the entity to release his wife. And the game ends with him writing a book called Initiation, which releases his wife into the reality but keeps him in the dark place.
Oh, okay.
Now, 13 years later, Alan Wake 2 came out. Alan Wake 2 is the greatest game ever made.
Okay.
The greatest game ever made. I will not accept any other argument. It is truly a masterpiece. And I implore everyone to play it. It's on every platform. Please play it.
I will after this. I will.
You better. I will check up on you.
You will check up, yeah. I soon will play Overwatch with Liam. That's one thing I need to do. It's another unkept promise so
if
far.
you like writing, writing is all. Is that whole game? It's all about a writer trying to write their way out of writer's block and also outsmart a supernatural entity.
I like that. I think I would genuinely enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got it on record. And
Okay.
I will be playing this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your media of the week.
What's your media of the week? Do you have another one?
No, that's just my one. Because I try to bring in one per episode because I'm like, okay, if I bring in too much, I'm just not going to have anything after a few episodes, right?
Fair enough.
But yeah, and usually my media tends to be a lot smaller than the guest.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you've done too much. But yeah, no, it's been great. But yeah, I think on that note, we've recorded a decent amount of content, I think, just a little bit. And I think it's probably a good time to wrap up. I genuinely really enjoyed the process of making this. I think every episode, it's sort of like you sort of sit down at the beginning and you're like, oh, it's just like we're just gonna do this and see where it goes. And I think like as you go through the podcast, you start to like you get like a specific experience where you get to like sit there and like listen to how someone articulates something in their own way. And especially when people bring their own stuff in, it's like it's their like realm and their field. And it's like I might not have much to say about your pieces of media because I haven't experienced them yet. But it's so interesting to see how like given like a free topic without like two people going back and forth about something, how someone articulates. I think that's something that I really learned from this podcast experience from each person, and I really appreciated how it ended up this time. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was very lovely being on.
I'm gonna give you a hug.
Thank you.
As the end of this podcast. And yeah. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this viewing as much as I enjoyed recording. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.